You been waiting a while?
No, no, just a minute or two. Yeah.
You
I just
got on
wanted
that
to,
you got on that old school Dorian Yates look in black and white. Was that intentional?
yeah, I don't, you probably haven't seen me on YouTube stuff before, but I'm always in black and white just because I'm trying to stay on brand with my with my black and white aesthetic. I know
Yeah.
it sounds kind of weird probably, but it's just like a creative artist thing, you know. Yeah.
No, no, no. I mean, so truth be told, because I'm transparent. Number one, I didn't know you did anything on YouTube, and to be honest, I didn't even know what you look like.
Oh,
I just know you by your art. I know that you order from
yeah.
Hell's Headbangers.
Yeah.
I know that we've had a relationship with your brother that wasn't financially the best.
Yeah.
I'll leave that discussion out. But other than that, I don't really know anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been on YouTube since probably the pandemic. Just like I don't have a channel or anything like that. I just pop on other channels for interviews, chats, discussions, stuff like that. So
Oh,
yeah,
dude, I'm telling you right now, this is what you're doing. 2026, all these pussies in their New Year's resolutions. We'll start a real resolutions with you, man. You got to start a YouTube channel. You won't
oh,
regret it. By the end of this year, you won't regret it. And because put it
dude.
to you this way, if you do, there's no downside whatsoever because you have a brand. You are a brand. You're an artist. You will gain new fans overnight. And here's what you're gonna do. I'm giving you free game, Mark. Is you're gonna just be you. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just talk about music. Talk about art. Talk
Yeah.
about talk about aliens from outer space. Talk about anything. And what happens is you draw a fan base. It's kind of like, dude, think about it. How many people listen to Joe Rogan that didn't even know that I don't even know. What was he, a UFC fighter? What was he, a boxer? He was some fighting.
Fear Factor or something like that. I think he was a host or something.
Right. But so,
Comedian or
but,
something.
but people that all his following that are watching him, I would say 80% of them, they didn't follow him because that's what he did. They
Yeah.
followed him because they liked his personality.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when people fall in love with your personality, they go and then how they support you is by checking out your brand. My brand is Hell's Headbangers. Your brand is your artwork. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, dude, there's no better advertising. My one biggest regret in this lifetime is that I didn't start this 10, 15 years ago.
Oh wow, damn. All right. Yeah, I know it's something that's crossed my mind. I don't think I'm really in a place time wise to be able to facilitate that. I know you're a very regimented individual
Mm-hmm.
because you have a very strict approach to everything you do, it seems like in terms of like keeping a routine, keeping
Yeah.
on point. And I respect that. That's huge because I feel like success is subjective, but if you set those goals for yourself, you can't achieve them unless you take action. And if you have action set up for yourself every day, you're going to find some sense of accomplishment. And I respect that. I just know right now, given like uh, work, family, it's just it'd be too much, too taxing on me to be able to keep up with. It's something
Mm-hmm.
I think I would enjoy, but I think I'll wait till I retire from my day job before I get into doing some of YouTube. I love getting on with like other channels and stuff. I've done like breakdowns on like logos and album covers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I get very analytic with it. I give like, oh, I like to be. In fact, I have a ton of visuals here with me right now because I feel like uh, sometimes getting my point across, I have to have a visual to accompany it. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives me an opportunity to like plan, prepare. I just for doing that for myself, like a full on YouTube, I just think that'd be really cumbersome. It take
Yeah.
away. There's some stuff I've kind of let go of just so that I can make more time to like put into the paper. You know what I mean? I feel like that would take away from my ability to find time to draw.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I've entertained because I mean, obviously, like I love the genre, I love the music, I love doing art for it. So I think there would be some benefit from it. But yeah, I commend you, man. Even when your brother Craig was doing the Hellcast and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tom, they were doing the Redefining
Yeah.
Darkness. What was it called? The Into the Darkness podcast.
Yeah,
I think,
they were doing a series that I think that was the interview series that's what they're
yeah,
called. I couldn't keep the thing is that was my biggest critique, and I told them in person is I was like, you're not consistent enough. I was like, you keep changing stuff. I was like, things take time to settle in because like it was originally called Hellcast, then he changed to Reaper Metal Productions, and then he had all these
yeah,
names.
yeah,
I was like, put it to you this way, I'm somewhat on the inside. I was like, and I'm confused. I was like, how's the listeners not going to be? Because yeah. I was like, is it Into the Darkness? Is it Reaper? Is it hell? Like, what the hell is it called? Like, I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm confused. But to what my knowledge is, I think it was just a podcast series. I mean, the interview series. Is that what
yeah.
they're calling it?
Okay. Yeah, I remember you would pop on to some of those, and I always viewed you as a voice of reason
Mm-hmm.
on all those episodes because you would just sit quietly, and then every time you interjected something, it was just like just so matter of fact, and your knowledge of just you're like a walking encyclopedia of metal. I mean I'm a huge fan, but I don't read lyrics. I don't remember song titles. I don't even remember album titles.
Mm-hmm.
So some stuff I don't even have time to pop open the stuff to look at. I just will spin it. I'll spin it for like a couple days, then it's on the shelf or on to the next thing. So
Yeah.
I don't absorb anywhere near like what you have. I hear you talking. This I think that's part of the joy of your channel is just hearing you expand on your own knowledge on the scene. Not just that, but also your opinions are interesting too. But but also just like your knowledge in general of the scene and you definitely had your foot in the door for a long time since a very young age. I don't think most people um, get their foot wet in metal in the same way that you did. Like you
Yeah.
had access almost instantly to underground stuff, which is crazy. I don't think a lot of people have had that.
Not back then, especially now. You could maybe stumble upon it accidentally because of
Yeah,
YouTube and Spotify. I mean, you could maybe just literally accidentally stumble upon deranged. I mean, a
yeah,
5 year old could just based on algorithm if they were watching some Disney thing and it was called deranged something, the band deranged, they could click on it. I mean, granted, that's by chance,
yeah,
but back then you had to physically go and buy something or somebody had
yeah,
to like tell you about it and hand you a cassette or a CDR or a copy to
right.
borrow.
Yeah. It's just a different level of convenience for sure, but I feel like there's something to be said for the history of the genre and having experienced that tape trading and the sending flyers, ordering stuff just based on a flyer or like a little paragraph hand typed review or just seeing bands and fanzines alone. You see a band enough times, you're like, I should probably check this band out. There's just so many. Yeah, you had to do a lot of digging,
Mm-hmm.
deep digging to find really new music, at the time. And I feel like that's lost, now with technology adding so much ease and convenience. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I've discovered a lot of more recent bands that I found to really enjoy just by virtue of an algorithm telling me, hey, check this out. Or maybe I
Sure.
subscribe to a YouTube channel that posts stuff that labels feed their songs to or their albums to. So I'll find stuff that way too nowadays. So there's definitely some added convenience, but it's nowhere near as as difficult as it was in the past
Yeah,
to
1,000%.
find new stuff. But
But then that I think that's why the kids of today they don't have the same appreciation for it because it just came so easy. It's just
yeah,
like the kid that his daddy's a billionaire and when he turns 18 he puts $10 million in his bank account. He'll never have a good work ethic. He'll never have appreciation. He'll look at somebody that makes 100 grand a year and be like, well, what do you mean? Like what's the problem? Like how don't you have more? It's like because it was just given to you, dude. That's kind of what the scene is nowadays. Honestly, it just fell in their lap. It really did. And if you now, don't be wrong, there's exceptions to the rule, but if you talk to most of them, and I do because they come up to me, you could just tell there's a different mindset.
yeah,
It's just totally different mindset. The appreciation, how they listen to it, how they check it out. It's
mhm.
just it's completely different than it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, and maybe it's a dinosaur way of thinking, but in my head, you don't really own the release unless you have a physical copy.
Correct.
So I don't mean I still have yet to that like use digital platforms. I just don't.
Dude, I
I'll,
don't have a single thing downloaded in my entire life. The only thing I use digital for is I do use you. I just use YouTube and I just play in the background at the
yeah,
gym, and that's just strictly for convenience. That's it.
yeah,
Because
streaming something or like Bandcamp. I'll certainly play something on Bandcamp.
yeah,
It's frustrating to me when a band puts an EP out. I really like it, and there's no physical product. It's just a stream.
beyond annoying.
Like,
Dude, I've gotten a few people. They sent me in reviews for the channel
yeah,
to review their band. and it was just digital only. I'm like, I was like, number one, dude, my biggest critique. I was like, get something physical. I was like,
Yeah,
this is stupid. I was like, why you have not? You don't. It doesn't exist if you can't hold it. And now the argument of the young kids because they don't understand. I was like, well, here's the thing, dude. If you don't own it, I was like, you're technically not supporting the band because you're not buying something. And just if you want to even look at it this way, if you have that mindset, you're just going to YouTube or get everything for free, then this music can't exist. It'll die off because I promise you, they're not going to do it free forever. They might be doing it now as a new band because they're 16, 17, and they're living in mommy's house, so they have no bills and no responsibility. But I promise you, they're not going to continue doing that. So the scene will die off as a whole. And the way I looked at it too is kind of like Jim Sadis would put it, Jim Kanye. That's your sword and shield. You know what I mean? Your
yeah,
physical copy, it's your sword and shield. Now it sounds stupid, but it's kind of is true. And people will say that, oh, it's just collector's mentality. It's like, well, how is that different? Like nobody would ever question. They might say that's not my hobby. No one would ever question someone that collects baseball cards or stamps. You're not listening to those. You're not even listening to those. But
right.
people collect it as a hobby. And it's like if you have any disposable income, what else are you spending your money on? And here's the thing too is that's I give homage to physical copy and shit like that too, because that's part of my success. And the reason it's part of my success is the driver for me to want to make money. And I could speak for my brothers on this too. Now, whether their mindset changed over the years or not, I can't speak on that. But I know for a fact, as us as kids, the reason we all had jobs, I've had one since I was 13 years old, is because our parents didn't give us money. And we wanted money to buy CDs, records, and go to shows.
Yeah.
So that taught us a work ethic and a value for it. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And then so now had a work ethic because there was so much shit you wanted to buy, and just with that work ethic drove success. So by default, that's what drove. Dude, if I was just into smoking weed and all this other shit that kids into, I guarantee I wouldn't have the same level of success and work ethic that I have because there's just no, I got $50 for a bowl, bro. Like, because how much weed are you going to smoke in a day? You would just have your fix and you're like, I can afford it. My $12 an hour job can support this. But with the metal scene, as you know, it's when you're buying the shit, it's overwhelming. You're like, dude, you got to basically be a millionaire to get it all.
oh yeah, there's this scene right now is super saturated. I'm okay with that. Like I don't have a problem with that. But I know you've touched on this before on your channel, but the ability to have a voice that can be heard in the
Mm-hmm.
scene is incredibly difficult right now. There's just too many bands. You do need, I think, some kind of. I know bands can do stuff on their own, but I feel like there's something to say about having some kind of label support in terms of having an existing foundation to get your band off the ground or at least get
100%.
noticed.
Yeah,
So
nowadays you almost it's funny because it's like it's easier than ever to advertise, but at the
mm,
same time, it's more like more important than it was 25 years ago because there's more competition. So it's like a catch
yeah,
22. It's like
yeah,
getting your name out there is easier than ever, but at the same time, it's harder than ever because there's so much competition.
yeah. Actually, that touches on something. I hope you don't mind. I have a list of questions for you.
Oh, shit. I was supposed to be asking you the questions, but hell
Well,
yeah, man, bring them,
I
lay
mean,
them on.
yeah. Hopefully, it's something that I hopefully I don't get redundant because I haven't seen all 1,000 something of your videos. So
Dude, you know what's funny is when I say that, it's because again, it's just my sense of humor and I like
mhm.
to poke fun and shit like that, but it's like it's a catch 22. They got that as well, where it's like if you've seen all 1,500, I'm looking at you, man. You're kind of a weirdo. You got no life. You've seen all 1,500, but when somebody asks me a question that I've answered on the channel, I'm like, watch the back catalog, bro, because that's like the ongoing thing because it's funny. So it's like they're screwed with me. You're screwed if you watch them all because now I'm calling you a weirdo, and you're screwed if you did. I'm like, I already answered it, bro. Where you been? So but I do that stuff intentionally because it's funny, dude. And
It is.
honestly, I think what rubbed off is that's the Jim Sadist, Jim Kanye. He would pull crap like that. He'd pull these scenarios. He'd put you in these instances where you're screwed no matter what. I was like, no matter what you say, you're screwed. And I always
Yeah,
just thought that was funny. So I kind of
yeah.
just I didn't like do that to try to like replicate it. It just I think that humor was just embedded in me since like I've known him like since I was 15, and it just rubbed off on me, and I became that way.
Yeah, it's funny you bring him up. I have to say, like, obviously having hundreds, if not well over 1,000 clients through my art career, uh, Jim Kanye was probably. I would say him, and I know you brought up Caton before from
Hmm.
Pyrat. Those two dudes are probably, and don't get me wrong, I have a ton of like really cool clients and a lot of repeat customers that are just super easy to work with. But those two guys, man, they're characters. They have of the people I've dealt with. I actually dealt with them on the phone, which
Yeah.
was unique because usually you deal through letters or email. I think in that time it's probably like early 2000s. I worked with both of them, and those guys, both of those guys, are just super cool, one of a kind of dude.
1,000%. Well,
But
as
yeah,
far as one of a kind, yeah, Caton's like definitely one of the coolest people I met. But as far as one of a kind human beings, where I'm like, I can guarantee you never met anyone like the two people that come to my mind, that I've ever met in my life, and maybe the only two is Jim Sadis and King Folly. So King Folly's still alive. Like and here's the thing is, I'm not even saying that in a positive or a negative way because some of it's good and some of it's bad. Because there's times, dude, there's Jim. I wanted to strangle him in person. We'd get in arguments because of it, how different he was and how. But I mean, he had a uniqueness to him that I can honestly say there's not a person on this planet that was like him. And the thing is, looking into my own psychology, I think that's maybe why it's hard for me to like accept people in my circle or really get along and jive with people because most people when I meet them, I'm just like they're just boring to me. And because he has such a charisma to him that again, but sometimes it would be annoying to where he would annoy the shit out of me, but he had such a charisma that it was like none other. So when you meet like a normal person, you're just like
yeah.
this guy doesn't bring anything to the table. Like he's like Jim. You never knew what you're gonna get. You were entertained no matter what.
Yeah, no, it's funny you bring King up. I mean, I've worked with King before too. I've met him on a few occasions. Again, super charismatic individual, like you suggested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit worked more closely with Mike from Deceased, but King I've certainly dealt with through mostly through email. But
Yeah.
but I was going to ask you with Kanya, did they? Sorry to be kind of dark, but was he buried in those red sweatpants? Did they bury him in those red sweatpants?
Not. I mean, not to my knowledge. They didn't run it by. I doubt because you got to remember, dude. He came from a.
He's a very conservative family, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they were religious for sure, and I mean, he's had stories about his dad and shit like that. And I mean, when he bought "Don't Break the Oath," he said he had to hide it and things like that. You know, back in the like because it was like it wasn't allowed. You know what I mean? So there's no way his parents would have done that. I'm sure kind of like our parents. I granted they weren't nearly as religious as his. That my parents are just in case Christians, like I call them. They
Sure.
don't love Jesus. They just say they do because if you say you don't, you're going to burn in hell. It's like, but you don't actually love the guy. But as opposed to Jim's dad, probably did. So a little bit more strict of an upbringing. But
Mm,
like with anything, as the years go by, you probably become numb to it, like the nun slaughter and the being into death metal and satanic death, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
yeah.
I'm sure they became numb to it. But him passing before them, I doubt if they ever got to the point where they're accepting it. So we're like, yeah, put these nun slaughter records in his coffin and his red pants because they had his red pants. I remember they had inverted crosses on the fucking legs and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I doubt that they would ever go for it. And I'm going to imagine because he had no kids and he was never married. That the person that's going to make the call, I would imagine, would be his parents.
Yeah. Did you guys ever, through Hell's Headbangers, do a pair of Nunslaughter sweatpants that like kind of reimagine Jim's what he would wear? Did you guys
No,
ever
remember
do
that we just have the which we have in stock. We have two nun slaughter swept, maybe three. We have the Putrid Nun,
Oh yeah. Okay.
the Hell's and Holy Fire. No, maybe we have a few. Go and red. No, we have a bunch of but not no red pants. Actually, to be honest, funny you said. I've never even that never crossed my mind. I don't know if it crossed anybody else's mind. And but the thing is, too, you got to remember is I don't know how well it would work. You'd have to look into it because I don't even know what kind of material it was, but they weren't sweatpants. They were almost
Oh,
like
they weren't.
polyester or
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't know where he got them or what. And but here's the thing is too is that's actually a pretty genius idea now that you bring it up. But you got to remember, dude, there's I would say over 50% of my audience forget they never met him. They don't even know who that is.
Oh.
Dude, I can't tell you how many people told me like they got in a nun slaughter, like yeah, I'm in a nun slaughter. Like guys, people I met in person, like they come up to me and they've never seen nun slaughter with Jim playing. I'm like, really? I was like, that's just weird. I was like,
Yeah.
you never seen him with Jim play? I was like, that's the lineup. I was like, I mean, to me now, Nunslaughter, I mean, Don's my friend, and it's all, it's all cool, but I mean, I'm a fan of all the Jim status down. Now it's kind of like, just whatever. It's cool. You know, it's kind of like suffocation without Frank Mullen. You're like, whatever. No, when once Jim's gone, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'll take it or leave it. That's just kind of my stance.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you going back to promoting for bands. You guys used to. I have a bunch of stuff I pulled. You guys used to do these promo CDs. This is an old
Yeah,
Inquisition.
that's years ago.
Yeah. So what do you guys? So I know you probably used to send these to fanzines and whatnot to get reviews and all and all. What do you guys do now when with your bands to help promote a title? Do you just kind of bank on HHR as a distribution service to put it out that that's enough? Just the fact that you guys are carrying it is enough, or what do you guys do any extra lifting for the bands that you guys sign?
So, it's funny you asked that because my best answer is like you'd have to ask Chase that because he does all that.
Oh yeah,
I know he's going to be like, well, we have all the reviews written up by Nathan Burke, who works for us for years. He does all our
right.
reviews.
Invisible
Now where
Injury.
those are publicized and shit, I don't even know. Nathan just does that, and I know Chase
Yeah.
handles. So I know we do that. As far as extra, again, that dude, that's kind of why I want him to do his own channel too, Chase. And I keep saying it is because realistically, most of the Hell's Headbangers questions he could answer better than me. And it's funny, like maybe he'll ease off now when it's broken down because I've said it a few times on the channel. He'll like call me out like fucking idiot, like we do it like this. I'm like, well, dude, I'm not the one that ever did that. That's literally like me calling him a fucking idiot for not knowing where something in the shop is, but he hasn't been there in 5 years. I'm like, well, you're not an idiot. I wouldn't expect you to know. You don't do this, but he'll do that. So a lot of the stuff, it's like, yeah, you handled that from day one. That wasn't my department, so no, I don't know.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah,
all
I
that
was.
stuff he handled. Now, don't be wrong. Like you said, with that, we all used to advertise in magazines, Decibel and shit like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, those promo CDs we hand those out, but that's in the past. What he does now, I don't honestly, I kind of don't even know.
Oh yeah, I'm just wondering maybe download links or maybe facilitating YouTube exclusives with like was it Death Madness or Black Metal Promotion, whoever those major YouTube channels are. Maybe that's probably a good outlet because I think a lot of people subscribe to some of those kinds of channels. Yeah, I was going to ask too. Like one of the questions I had, I know Craig used to work with you guys, but what? So my understanding is you handle a lot of the warehouse fulfillment in terms of like getting the products, inventorying, getting them shipped.
Yeah,
And it sounds like Chase is doing like a lot of the emails, like probably pounding his keyboard all day, dealing
yeah,
with
correct.
the.
Put this way, he's never at the. Now I know he stepped foot to pick something up, but I can honestly say, with the exception of that open warehouse we did before my show, which was just this past June, I haven't seen Chase inside the warehouse in 5 plus years.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, he's never there ever. Now, don't be wrong. I know he has stopped in to pick up
Yeah.
a record or something, but it was in the evening when I was already gone. Eric's there about, I would say, once a month to take physical full photos of like maybe releases that came in. So I see him. The most days I don't even see him. He shows up when I'm gone. So they're basically. It's safe to say they're never at the warehouse, but I'm there literally every day.
And you have some help, I hope,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
help.
Yeah, I manage everything going out, but majority of the orders I don't pack up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for example, if somebody orders 2 records, I'm not boxing that up. We have an employee that would do that. Now, if
Okay.
somebody bought like if somebody orders like $400 worth of shit, I just do it because I want it done my way.
I see.
Because to me, if you fuck up an order, somebody ordered two, three, four LPs, it's a template. It's a template box. It's template everything. If you fuck that up, I just want to punch you upside the head and throw you out, and just don't let the door hit your fat ass on the way out because you're just a complete idiot. Like you've already done 5,000 of these. How are you fucking it up? It's literally a template.
Yeah, yeah. So Eric he handles like graphic design, right? And facilitating stuff for pre-press and all that. Is that
Yeah, I mean,
correct?
he doesn't do as many of the layouts as he used to. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh yeah, you
He
have
does a lot. Honestly, I think a lot of the stuff he does now is the shit he hates doing, accounting type stuff and
okay.
shit like that. But I mean, I know he does. He's the one that submits the releases. He does do some of the graphic designs, files, shit like that. Um, it's probably a lot of crap where it's just like it's pure just work that he just like this sucks. But I mean, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, so what do you think my department is? Join the club. You think I like got them going there managing a bunch of retards and boxing shit up? I was like, same thing. I was like,
Yeah,
this ain't Disney World for me either. Again, I
yeah.
tell everybody when people like they want to apply for Hell's Headbangers or work. I can't even tell you how many times I heard that. I'm like, dude, there's one perk and one perk only. You are around cool physical product. That is it.
Mhm.
The rest, it is a job, and I run it like it's a McDonald's line. I expect high production with good quality.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. I think people, even like in my line of work, doing it, there's parts of it that I dislike also, uh, but I have to do it.
Yeah,
Otherwise, nothing gets done.
correct.
So I totally get that. And I think people, when they start a label, they don't realize
No,
how
they don't.
much, dude. There's so many moving parts and pieces that go into it. It's just unreal. And in a lot of cases, especially with how big HHR is now, when I say big, I mean also the amount of product you carry.
Yeah.
That's too much for one person. Way too
Oh
much.
yeah, yeah. It'd be physical. We would not be the size with the amount of because yeah, we have over 60,000 titles in stock. I mean, again, Chase he keeps upping that number because it was 50, but I get the stats from him because he knows it. But he doesn't even know the exact number. But the last he told me, which was 8 months ago or so, he's like it's definitely over 60,000. He's like it could be 75. He's like, but it's I'm positive it's over 60,000 titles in stock. He's like, I'd
Yeah,
have to do the I'd have he's like I'd have to rip it from our site administrator to do the count. He's like, but he's like it's definitely over 60,000 in stock at the moment. And so having said that, no matter if it was just me, if it was just Chase, if it was just Aaron, it doesn't matter who it was. Even if you got somebody who had a better work ethic than any of us, it would be physically impossible for one person to have that kind of volume. Like there wouldn't be enough hours in a day. You wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of. I've been shopping with Hells for a long time, and you guys always, most of the time, have whatever I'm looking for.
No, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions on occasion, but you guys, the stuff you carry, I mean, you're digging deep, and that was actually going to bring me to another question. I know you probably have a lot of business relationships with different labels. Are there any? What labels would you say you guys have had the longest relationship with in terms of distributing product?
So again, best person to ask that would be Chase, but I mean I have a decent because I see what comes in and I know who to deal with. Um, the general broad answer that's going to be pretty accurate, but Chase would have the 100% accurate answer. I would say Iron Bonehead, Nuclear War Now, High Roller Records, Iron Pegasus. Um, I know I'm forgetting a couple, but definitely those four.
Yeah, those
I
are
mean,
yeah,
you could shout a few out, and I could tell you yay or nay.
yeah,
Um,
like nuclear winter, but I mean, I guess they're probably not as long
Yeah, yeah,
standing.
nuclear. Yeah, we do, but it seems like he's a little off and on. And
Okay.
I think the reason is because I used to talk to Anastasis a couple times, and I know there was a time period, it might have been even 10 years ago, to where he couldn't accept PayPal or anything because there
Oh,
was something going because of Greece, a Greek economic problem. And I
sure.
think there was a time frame to where there was like we weren't getting anything from him and vice versa. But I know in the last year or two, I have seen Nuclear Winter stuff come back in, and we have
Okay.
dealt with him since oh shit, dude, when he was putting out 7 inches in the early 2000s. So yeah, we never um were stopped dealing with him. I just think there was a
Yeah.
pause because from my understanding, it was because of his economic situation out of his control of his own country. But
Yeah.
people like I said, Iron Bone and a Nuclear War Now shit, those guys we dealt with every year for 20 plus years.
So with manufacturing, are you guys now working with? I hope I don't butcher his name. Yosuke. Are you working with Helios now for pressing vinyl? Or are you going through GZ Digital Media and check?
It's still GZ because we have I don't know if you want to call it a contract or an agreement where it's the amount of stuff you press, you get a certain rate. Again,
Mhm.
Chase would know. I mean, I remember sitting in on that conversation, but it was so long ago. Um, the only reason I haven't gone to Yosuke here's the funny thing is I actually have one of these set up with Yosuke.
Oh, good.
We're scheduled hopefully the 14th. But something's coming. I got Lee Harrison from Monstrosity flying in on the
Oh,
13th, and he'll be here for a couple days. So I'll be hanging out with him, entertaining him, shooting videos. So I told Yosuke, I was like, it might have to reschedule. I was like, because I'm chauffeuring Lee around.
yeah.
But anyways, but we'll knock it out. But no matter what, I'm getting Yosuke on one of these. He said, yeah. we're
Yeah,
texting
it's
back and forth. But
interesting.
but one of my questions for him too is like I don't even know is his name because I've heard it pronounced both ways. Heard it pronounced Yosuke, and I heard people pronounce it Yosuke. So you're not.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna just point blank ask him because I don't know.
Well, what's interesting to me is I saw him, Ken Escobedo, when he was doing Ken's
Yep.
Death Metal Crypt web is a YouTube thing. When he interviewed Yosuke on there, I didn't realize that we're from the same scene. I didn't realize he grew up in Northern Virginia, so we were probably at some shows together. We just didn't know it, you know. That
Oh,
was
I didn't know that. I've only seen Yosuke talk. So I've seen him a couple times on his own channel because some people asked me like, "Hey, did you know that he started a channel?" And I checked it out. Um, but I only seen like one or two episodes because it was like he was interviewing stuff that I'm like just that I don't really follow or whatever. Um,
right.
so I haven't peeked in or whatever. But so I was like, oh, because I didn't even know prior to that I didn't even know what he looked like.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I didn't realize he was from the local scene where I'm at originally,
you're in
but yeah,
Virginia. You're in Virginia, right?
yeah, Northern Virginia area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, my first show, dude, was I think like '93, and I don't get out to shows too often, but I don't even remember if I was. Yeah, I think I was old enough to drive at that point. Um,
Because you're what? You're 48 now.
I'm 49. I'll be 50 this year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sucks. Um, well, you're
Yeah,
about to birthday too, aren't you? Turning 41 this month.
yeah, that's Lee Harrison's coming up for my birthday, brah.
Oh, nice. That's
That's
your
not the
birthday.
reason he's coming up, but he
Yeah,
just so happens to be. I
yeah.
was like, works for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first show actually, the opening band is Corpse Grinder, and so George Fisher was singing with
Oh, nice.
that was his band. So that was kind of weird, and not knowing like what his trajectory would be. But
What was that, like 88, 89?
no, this was like '93. Yeah, he was in Corpse Grinder at that point.
Oh,
Cloud,
I thought
Cloud
that, but wasn't the Corpse Grinder like? Did he was doing that in the 80s though, wasn't he? He was doing that free monstrosity. I thought.
he was doing a pre-monstrosity, but I think they had a different singer in like '91 and '92.
So
I
he left and basically came back.
I'm not sure. He may have.
Okay.
The demos I have. I don't think he sings on them.
Hmm.
The Corpse Grinder demos I have, but I could be off on that. You
Okay.
know, have a corpse history way better than I do. So, but I thought that was kind of wild. Um, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I was gonna ask you something else too. With when you guys do inventory, like let's say you're pressing a release, like a
Mhm.
new release, and I know you run like a certain amount of copies, where like 1,000 CD or 500 vinyls or something like
It's
that.
about that's usually on average. I mean, some very different, 1,000 LPs, but yeah, most are 500 LPs, 1,000 CDs. That's the majority of the pressings. Yes,
And you usually do like 100 black, and the rest are color vinyls, color variants.
generally. Again, there's other exceptions, but yeah, generally speaking, yes.
And so when you guys do that, I'm just kind of curious how much, because I know Hell's is probably you guys deal with trades a lot with other
Uh-huh.
labels. So how much of that pressing do you guys actually, just generally speaking, stock versus like how many of the pressing go out for trades? It's like half and half or something like that? Because you're probably trading with like 30, 40 different labels, right? To
Yeah.
your stock.
Well, so dude, that's so variable because I mean, there could be releases that, I'll give you an example, like that Burial Enlightened with Pain that I
Yeah.
set up through the channel. The LP we pressed 500 of them, right? Those
Mhm.
all sold out in pre-order. We haven't got them in yet because the plant fucked it up twice. But they're sold. They're all accounted for. That's the first time that's ever happened, right?
Yeah, that's
But then
wild.
we have some stuff that we pressed 500 of them. We pressed them 4 years ago, and we have 200 still sitting here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So that's a huge difference, right?
yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, so you don't have any to trade for the burial then. You wouldn't have any copies to
No.
trade because they all went away in pre-order.
Yeah. Now, however, on that again, but that's the first time that's ever happened. Just for the record,
Yeah.
we've already told the plant to repress it, so we'll get. I'm doing another 500. Those are the next because there's a thing called supply and demand. Like people think, oh, we'll just do 5,000. It's like no, that's why you're not business dummy. That's not the way it works. It's like, for example, the second 500. Yes, they'll sell, but they'll sell substantially slower because the majority of the demand has been supplied, hence supply and demand. So,
Yeah.
having said that, with the second 500, yes, I'm sure we will trade some of those.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious, like how that worked for you guys, because with all the inventory that you have coming
I
in.
would say this the way I would word it like this, because there's going to be general acts, but the way to answer that is if it's a more underground band, let's say it's a band that's been around for 12 years or less,
Hmm.
and let's say they're a Hell's exclusive band, or we put out majority of their stuff, because I don't want to say yay or nay to any names, just because number one, they're all different, and I don't want to offend any bands either. But let's just say band 12 or less years been around, mostly Hell's exclusive or purely Hell's exclusive. 500 LPs, 1,000 CDs. I could tell you what's considered a steady mover to get rid of all of them is 3 years.
Okay.
6 years is not even uncommon, and that's considered kind of a dog. We call him a dog, dog bone, wolf, 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 barking at the moon, and that's not even uncommon.
Okay. So when you guys deal with a band, would you do you just agree on like one release? You test the water. If it does all right, then you might publish the second based on sales, or is that typically how? I wasn't
Well,
sure.
to be honest, again, we'll keep it to like majority, like I just said. Let's say
Yeah.
it's an active band. Like the reason I'm saying newer band because, like for example, Burial. That's not really an active band. That's something I set
No.
up. If we repress Centurions, that's not an active band. So those are kind of like I don't want to say anomalies because we've done a bunch of those, but it's not a nor. It's not an active band. That's the best way I could say it. So active bands that are putting it, that are playing shows and doing shits. Um, I would say again, not to piss anybody off, I would say 95% of the releases are set up by Chase and what his gauge for re-signing bands. I can't say for certain. I can make an educated guess on, which is not. I'm not going to say what it is because it is just a guess. However, it would be different than the way I would do it. Just if my guess is correct and it's an educated guess, it's not the way I would go about it. Let's just say that.
Okay. And how much? Actually, a couple of other questions. I'm just curious about because I don't think people understand all the inner workings of a label, and I don't either, which is why I'm having being a little inquisitive with some of the questions. I just was wondering too because you guys each kind of fall into your roles and you're not really seeing each other all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Do you guys make a point to have a like an annual meeting or monthly meeting where you well just
You would think, yeah, professional. I mean, dude, what our meeting is, yeah, I'll tell you, when we do meetings.
family reunion?
Plus, with the last meeting we did, I think it was definitely over a year ago. Um, a way a meeting gets called into action is when somebody's severely fucking pissed off about something, or when the shit hits the fan.
Okay.
That's group goddamn meeting. Get your ass on, and it's all it's not even in person. It's all over Zoom
Well,
chat,
really?
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering because with the label, I mean, you guys have to have, I mean, I have to do with my art. I have to have some foresight in terms of like, well, what do I want to accomplish for the year or in the foreseeable future? What I want to do next, just to keep myself busy and keep it interesting. Do you guys ever have a meeting to discuss like, well, what do we want the label to do this year? 'Cause especially now that you're going on what your 25th year anniversary, right? This is
Mhm.
2026. So I was wondering, do you guys have like some kind of something planned or maybe some kind of maybe like, oh, well, I don't know, with your warehouse. I don't know if you guys lease or if you own it. Well, maybe you make a point to like try to buy the warehouse or get air conditioning or something for it. I don't know what your situation is over there, but just stuff like that that you guys to me that would require all the minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the next what
I mean, for certain stuff like that, granted, to be honest with you, none of those topics were any of the meetings, but yes, topics of that nature, that is when we'd have a meeting. But like for example, like I'll give you an example, like for your first one, like, hey, let's get together, like let's say this week because it's the beginning of the year. What do we want to accomplish this year as far as putting out releases? That was already decided 2 years ago. Because like
oh,
right now, when a band hits me up, if it's a new band and it hits us up, it's like we're booked until 2027, bro.
whew,
So it's like we already know. Now, what we would have a meeting that's similar to that is when we had so much, because there was a point, I think it was around COVID time, when we were booked up solid for 3 years, and that was really stretching the budget, the monthly budget. Like when I say
yeah,
booked till 2027, that means we have X amount of budget. of X amount of thousands of dollars we're going to spend per month on releases. So, and even then was 3 years was like, I don't even know if that's going to be enough. So we had a meeting around that time, 2021, something like that. And we said, what do we want to do? Are we chopping some of this shit off? Are we upping our budget? Are we able to up our budget? What are we doing? So we did have a meeting, something about that. But as far as like, hey, what are we doing in 2026? Fuck, what 2020? What the fuck? We knew what we were doing in 2026 back in 2024. I could have told you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just curious because
Yeah.
I always just from. I mean, I don't even think of what I do as a business. I guess it is in a sort of a weird way, but I always have to like think for myself. What do I want to do this year to keep the ball rolling? You know, to keep things active. And actually, that kind of brings me to like the point is like why I hit you up for the flyer stuff is because a lot of the stuff I worked on 2025 was like intellectual property things, like things that already exist that I was drawing for, like different kind of brands and stuff like that. So I did some metal related stuff still, but some like popular BS metal type stuff, but and just like a couple little underground things here and there. So I felt like I needed part of my what I love about this is doing stuff for underground bands and when I saw that you had both Denial of God and Acheron, all these great, like really truly underground bands, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna hit Justin up, see if he needs any artwork to help out. And it's cool you've worked with Kramer. I've worked with him in the past on some stuff, um, but since it didn't work out with Kramer this year, I was happy to step in. But that's a way for me to like think at least branding wise, like I want to still be connected to the
Yeah.
underground scene.
Yeah.
So
But I
that
mean, dude, but yeah, same thing with Kramer. I mean, like, you have this guy that has similar mindset. So maybe I guess artists think alike. Because like last year, I didn't ask him to do my flyer. What it did was, is when I talked about doing a show and I kind of put I didn't know what I wanted to do for a flyer. So a fan sent in some flyer art, right?
yeah,
A fan of the channel. A kid, it was his girlfriend that did it.
cool.
And I was like, yeah, cool, this will work, whatever. I mean, it's free, good fan. I was like, yeah, I'll use this. So I printed up 2,000 flyers, right? And Kramer saw it and he's like, God damn, bro, that flyer's dog shit. He's like, I got a new one coming to you for free. And it was funny because, like, the kid, he contacted me too, like, hey, my girlfriend's like sad. You said it was dog shit. Like the fly. I was like, I didn't say it was dog shit. That was Kramer's words. Take it up with him, homeboy. I was like, I'm just telling you what he said, so that way people know why. And the reason, like, well, why did you mention that publicly? I was like, because why do I have two flyers now? People are going to ask because I had two different flyers. I was like, that's Kramer's words. It's like that. I was like, apparently, I didn't think it was too dog shit. I was like, I used it. If I thought it was complete dog shit, I wouldn't have used it. But
yeah,
that was
yeah,
I mean, you know how Kramer is too. I mean, it's
yeah.
funny
No,
because like that guy, like, people think that I'm like this aggressive, mean, hateful person. Dude, he's like a million times worse than me.
oh my god. Yeah, it's
He
funny.
would, dude, if he was on YouTube, like, put it to you this way, it's a matter of time, and there's a 50-50 chance that my YouTube channel will get canceled and yanked down. His would 100% get canceled and yanked down. There's not even a maybe. Within 30 days, it would be.
Yeah, and I promise I didn't think that when I saw his flyer. I didn't think, oh, that's dog shit. I'm gonna read. I didn't think that. I thought he did a good
So what
job.
I did, because when you hit me up, what
I
I
like,
did is, out of respect, I hit up
mm,
Kramer first. I said,
sure.
"Hey, Riddick hit me up, but I wanted to give you first dibs since you went out of your way last year." So, oh no, I know Riddick. He's like, yeah, he's a cool guy. He's like, I vouch for him. Of course, he's like, go with him. He's like, I'm too busy anyways. But I just
Okay.
want to give him first grabs out of
Oh,
respect since he
totally.
went out of his way and did it for. I didn't even
Yeah.
ask him to do it. He just did it. He's like, here it is. I'm like, he's like, yeah, that other thing. He's like, can't use that, man. That's dog shit.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
all right, all right. So that's what I did.
he's a really talented, especially his painting is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Even like some of this old Inquisition, and I've got one of his logos on my wall back here actually that he worked on.
Dude, he just finished. Did he show you? Because he shows me like day by day, and Eric can chase through
Oh,
WhatsApp.
I haven't
Did you
been
see
in
the
touch.
hell? Did you
So.
see the Hell's Headbanger? He finished the latest Hell's Headbangers art comp.
Oh, really? I don't know that I've seen it yet.
No, I mean it's not. I mean he just
Oh,
finished it. Like we don't have it. Like,
literally. Oh no,
so
I no.
that'll be like we'll do, like, you know how we hand out the sticker. I mean you definitely have some of his stickers, right? This
Oh yeah,
Slayer one. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another one. I'm not going to spill the beans which band it is.
Okay.
It's a band obviously I'm a huge fan of,
Yeah.
and I think he said it's either the hardest or second hardest piece he's ever done in his life,
Oh
and
wow.
one of the ones he's most proud of because he's a huge fan of the band. Him and I have that in common. We're enormous fans, like super fans of the band. Um, he just finished it, and then from there we'll do the comp CDs. So we'll have to wait on Chase's slow ass to pick which bands are going to go on the comp CDs for the free
Okay.
handouts, and then we'll get stickers, magnets, T-shirts, and then that'll be on Eric's slow ass to lay out. So it'll probably be done by 2028, and that'll be out. Now, if it was me doing it as soon as
Yeah.
Kramer returned it, it'd be done that weekend. But that's me.
I appreciate your work ethic. I even
Uh,
your
you're
emails.
the only one that does because no one else here around here does.
No, it's good. I mean, your emails are really to the point, and I appreciate that too. Because the best, even like client wise, like when people
Oh, the essays, dude. I'll tell you this right now. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I never say this, and I think Chase thinks I think I do. These guys a total dick in emails. Like, I'm not a dick, dude. I just reply what needs to be replied. When someone says, but here's the thing is, let's say you need a tracking number, right? Here's all you need to say in an email: order number. I need my tracking number. Dude, there'll be this whole essay. They put in their social security number. My grandma died last week. Dude, when I see essays, I'm not even exaggerating, dude. Here's what I do. Customer service. I scroll, I look for an order number, I copy and paste it, I put in the system, I see what the problem is. I see shipped and I kind of scroll. What's the problem? Shipped, missing item, whatever. I just look for it and I just reply to that.
yeah,
I was like, I
because
don't
it's
want essays, bro. I was like, I'm not
yeah,
reading all this. I was like, I get over
yeah,
100 emails a day. I am not reading your whole goddamn life history. I was like, all you need to say, I received this order, this item's missing. I received this order, this item's damaged. I didn't receive this order, what's the tracking number? I placed this order, why didn't it ship? Oh, you got a burial on there. Get in line, bro. Yeah, the plant sucks. But they're like, dude, there'll be essays. Like I'm talking about paragraph on top of paragraph, and all the only question was, do you have that tracking number?
man,
I'm not
I
reading
do.
all this, bro. I'm not reading this. So that's why when I reply, I don't. I reply with that curiosity, that courtesy. I was
Yeah,
like, nobody wants to read my bullshit. I sure as fuck don't want to read your bull, dude. If it's channel related shits, I was like, dude, that's for entertainment. That's side hustle. I was like, unless it's a paid question, I don't even read it. I was like, I copy and paste it, and I just read it on camera because I got paid to do it. And if it's just like, hey, if it's a hater, and I could kind of see it, it's a blank thing. Like, I didn't. You said this about both, or I just deleted it. I was like, I'm not even reading this, dude. I don't care. I was like, it was a joke. It's for entertainment. It was a free video, homie. Now you're gonna spend the time. You think I'm spending my hard-earned fucking time that time is money that to read your goddamn bullshit because I said something about bolt thrower. I don't care, dude.
yeah. It's really. I think people don't see that that side of things. Even like emails for me a burden, and I try to be as responsive as I can, but it's not. I've got other obligations.
Yeah.
So I don't have, I agree. And I feel bad because I have people I've been in contact with for a long time that I'll just lose touch with. And it's usually on me because I just don't have the time to answer messages, um, especially when they're lengthy. The customer service side of things for you, whew, man, I feel like that's got to be such a burden trying to reply to all the because you guys I can't even imagine how many customers you have already. Let
I
alone
do all that too. I do all the customer service emails and I do all the managing orders getting shipped out. And
yeah that
I don't mind legitimate, like, hey, where's my tracking? Hey, I got the wrong item. Hey, whatever, that type of shit. But
yeah
dude, the stupid shit. I mean, dude, I've seen honestly, dude, my faith in humanity over each year goes down a little bit more, and it's because talking to people in the scene. Like, my order came destroyed, asshole. Oh, really? What happened? My CD, the case has a crack on it. I'm like, that's not destroyed, dipshit. You know what I mean? That's the kind, dude. That's the shit I get. Literally, it's like I've even got, dude. That's not even the dumbest. The dumbest I can't even remember because it was so goddamn dumb. I couldn't even commit it to memory. I've seen
yeah
some of the most outlandish, stupidest fucking shit you could ever, dude. You want to know one of the dumbest of the dumbest? This was back in when Craig was doing it. A guy, I think it was a Sabat record or something. He wanted to replace, I think it was Sabat Evoke, the Hell's Headbangers pressing. He replied 7 years. I remember the number. 7 years after he bought it. Hey, can I get a replacement? My record's got a scratch on it.
Oh,
At what point, bro, would you even think to email somebody?
dude.
And here's the thing, dude. Here, I'm going to explain some of the obvious why. Because, dude, there's some people that follow me that are so goddamn stupid that they're literally like this right now, Mark. Yeah, dog. What? Why wouldn't you replace it? They're literally thinking that. So here, so fucktard that's thinking that watching this right now because there's at least 100 of them. I promise you. The reason is within 7 years. Number one, it ain't still in stock. Number fucking two, how do I know that you didn't drop it during that time? You didn't scratch it on your own. Like, it doesn't mean you got it that way. You've owned it for 7 years. It could have cum stains on it by now, for all I fucking know. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's thing they call statute. Hell, even for back taxes, the IRS, where they could back tax you taxes, you do realize they can only go back 7 years, bro. You do realize that, right? Hell's Headbangers is not sending a replacement record 7 years after you bought it, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was gonna say that'll test your patience.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And some people, it's funny, but here's the good that comes out of it. Because sometimes when I get multiples in the day, and I just so happen to have to shoot a video, sometimes they're the best. People are like, man, the dog's pissed today. I'm like, dude, if you've seen the fucking stupidity I got to deal with, you'd be fucking pissed too.
Oh
I
man,
was like, because this shit is so goddamn dumb that if it was any fucking dumber, my IQ would start to go down.
that's
And
funny.
when I start shouting at the camera and shouting at the people, the dumb fucks, I was like, dude, you guys want me to talk to you like this. You do. I was like, because you can't be this fucking stupid. You cannot be seriously thinking, why wouldn't you send me a new record after 7 years? Like, you can't possibly believe that. And here's the thing. There's multiple things that are that goddamn dumb. Keep in mind, that's not even number one dumb. That's not even
Oh,
top of the list. That's just one that comes to my mind.
I hear you. I've dealt with some tough some tough customers before as well. Nowhere near what you guys are dealing with because you're constantly moving product. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just yeah I don't I either way I appreciate the to the point emails because it's just easier. It's just easier. It makes life easier. And I know I get why people might perceive that. You know, it's hard to read into an email, honestly, but I'm
Yeah,
cool with
1,000%. Oh, 10,000%. Yeah. That's why I don't, I guess maybe that's why I don't ever take anything personal and like any type of text whatsoever because it's like, well, you don't know the person's tone of voice.
yeah, you don't know the context all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to sort of digress a little bit. I was going to ask you regarding your warehouse situation. You guys, you do you share your warehouse with Shadow Kingdom and
We do the fulfillment for them.
oh, I was
So
wondering
his
about
stuff's all shipped there and we ship it out for Shadow Kingdom Records.
okay, so they just manage it from afar. You guys are actually I was going to ask that if you
Just
guys
like majority, I mean, Werewolf Records, he gets some of it shipped to him in Finland, but
mhm.
majority of it we get because we're the majority of the stuff ships in the US.
It's just like a drop ship to you guys
Correct.
specifically. You
Yeah. But when people are like, you guys put out Goat Moon, it's like, first off, find a dick and suck it. That's none of your business. It's I believe in freedom of speech. So we could put out Goat Moon if we wanted to. Second off, last I checked, owls aren't racist. Third of all, even if they were, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what kind of toppings they like on their pizza. And fourth of all, we didn't put it out, dipshit. Werewolf Records did. We just have it in stock.
yeah, that's the thing. Like with extreme music, you got to expect extreme. You don't have to agree with everything, but
But
there's
here's the thing. I don't even understand it. Like, dude, here's just the thing. Just don't buy it. Just don't support it.
yeah, yeah.
That's just it. Like, there's lots of things I like, dude. I don't like country music. We were just out at dinner the other last night, me and Lindsay, and then we walked in, and dude, there was some of the gayest ass fucking music I've ever heard in my life, and not just because it was country, but it was like ultra non hetero, right? But I don't like sit there and complain to management and bitch and cancel these guys. I just don't support it. I'm not going to listen on my own time. I'm not going to buy it. Like, they're free to do what they want.
Yeah, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious about the Shadow Kingdom thing because I mean I know the web face looks similar to HHR and all that too. I figured you guys probably
I mean, and plus, I mean, don't get me wrong, we've helped out and he's helped us out. Tim from Shadow Kingdom is a friend of ours, you know what I mean?
oh okay okay
Yeah.
yeah I just picked up some stuff from them. I really like that Void album they put out. That was
Yeah,
really
that would do. That one's doing really, really hot.
yeah.
Um,
I bought it on vinyl because I usually I don't I'm not I know you're more of a vinyl guy. I'm more like
no,
CD.
I'm both. Honestly, I'm both.
Okay.
It's just if it's an album I'm a diehard of, it just seems like I'm a vinyl guy only. It's because it's never been on vinyl. So it's coming
Yeah.
on vinyl for the first time. And the reason I like seeing it come out on vinyl is because I own the CD for 25 years.
Oh yeah. So
So
same.
it
Like
comes off. But if it's a brand new album, a lot of times I will just buy the CD too.
oh
Like let's
okay.
say it's a brand new band and I just got it, I picked it up. I'm totally fine if it's just the CD. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was gonna also ask you. I had another question here. I wanted to run by you. When you guys do licensures with bands, do you guys normally work directly with a band, or are you dealing with typically with a label, or are you having to go through like ASCAP or one of those like or RIAA or whatever to
You mean to
secure?
license something that was released previously by a different label?
Yeah, like let's say you're trying to get something from, and I know you've talked about, I think Displeased or From Beyond before being tough to get stuff licensed from, but like let's say, well, you guys did some deceased represses, right? So you're probably dealing with like relapse or something like that.
Correct. Yeah. For in that scenario, yeah. So to answer the question, it's both. It's just it depends who owns it.
Okay, and is it pricey to license something? Like you still find some value in it, like in terms of like
Yeah, it's actually not as much as you would think. So for the relapse ones, like deceased, mortician, embalmer, there was blood everywhere. What other relapse ones do we do?
you're telling like a couple grand or something like that for
No, no,
those?
no, 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 no. With those, like, so all those mortician shit we did, dude, and that's why it's like cracks me up, dude. There's people like they don't even realize every mortician vinyl we did. We were the first one. They didn't even exist on vinyl. Relapse
Oh,
just started doing those a few years ago. We did
oh,
every album, including Final Bloodbath Massacre, including Live Zombie Massacre, every single album by Mortician, everyone. We pressed on vinyl, and they never existed on vinyl prior to us.
oh,
Relapse Records did them years later, and the reason Relapse Records did them years later is because the
makes sense.
deal was this: we licensed it from, right? And the deal was 10% go to them for free and 10% go to the band. So 20% in total. So
Mhm.
we'd send Relapse 100 of each Morticians for free, right? That was the license deal.
Oh, you're sending product as opposed to sales.
Correct. And they saw how fast they sold out. So when we
Mhm.
started trying to license other stuff, like we tried to do Incantation, Onward to Golgotha, we did Incantation, Mortal Throne, of the Nazarene. Here, I'll show it on camera too, because a lot of people don't know. Incantation, Mortal Throne, of the Nazarene. Check this shit out. We did Diabolical Conquest too, which I had those. But
Okay.
check this out, because a lot of people don't know this. Like, it blows my mind that people don't know this shit. Here's the Hell's Pressing. Smokes the Relapse Records pressing. See this? This is a picture disc.
Yeah,
No,
that's
the first, there's only 100 of these made. Dude,
wow.
I've
So
had somebody offer me $500 for this.
they've got
These
the
sold
mirror.
out in like a week. So they all come with the gatefold cover. Relapse Records don't have a gatefold cover. Has all the lyrics and stuff inside.
Nice. Yeah, West Bend Scotter art. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mirror
And
front.
and it comes.
Oh, I got a poster in there.
Yeah. So our version destroys Relapse. And dude, if you were listening to Morticians, at least Mortician Domain of Death for sure. The Relapse version sounds like shit. Like, dude, my stereo, you have to crank it on the highest volume setting, and it's still just that comfortable listening.
That
And
sucks.
yeah, so we put this out in Incantation, Mortal Throne, Nazarene. We put this out in 2013.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it's funny, the hilarious part, this doesn't even seem like a long time ago. I remember this like it was last week. Here's the back, the orgy scene.
Yeah, that's awesome,
So
man.
is and then but then here's we did a colored vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. This is our pressing. So this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mhm.
That when we did license with relapse, like I said, we did all deceased, we did all mortician, we did embalmer, there was blood everywhere, and some other shit I'm forgetting, right? When we put this out, it sold out so fast. And then when we hit them up, because I wanted to do like the first three Niles, I wanted to do, but the next one I asked was Incantation, Onward to Golgotha. They're like, you know what, guys? No thanks. He's like, we're gonna just start putting on it ourselves.
Oh,
That's when
you
they
guys
started putting vinyl
are
out. See, here's the
doing
thing: is
dedication.
nobody knows this. Without Hell's Headbangers, Relapse Records wouldn't even been starting to put out their stuff on vinyl. They didn't know the vinyl game. We put them onto it because they're getting all the records for free from us.
Yeah, that's interesting insight. I think that's what's curious to me, like with the licensures, because I'm like wondering, like, how does that even work in terms of like how much does a band get, how much does the label who previously put it out, how much are they entitled to, and, who technically owns the music, and then And then yeah, you're putting it out and you're testing the market. Obviously, it did well. At least
Dude,
this
all
time.
these, but the hilarious part is this type of stuff, the morticians, from day one, me, Eric, and Chase were never on the same page of business. Never. When we started the label part, we would never decide to start a label. It was just a distro, an online store. That was it. To build our own personal collections for a wholesale rate rather than a retail rate, getting our own stuff at wholesale cost. That was the whole goal. It wasn't even for a business. It's just like we're all collectors. We buy shit out the ass. It's expensive as hell. How can we how can we support this addiction in the cheapest manner possible?
Sure.
So getting at a wholesale rate.
Yeah, do
A
distro.
couple years in, Jim Sadis comes up to us. Hey, would you guys put out my side project band, Spawn of Satan? It's like, what do you mean put out your side project band? It's like we don't put out releases or whatever. Like we didn't even know. Like, yeah, Spawn of Satan, Bloodsick, exactly. Now the LP came out a few years later. We
Oh,
did this. We
really?
did this. The first release is a CD
Oh,
version. Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, oh yeah,
I'll have
it's
to
a
look. I don't
CD.
know. I don't know if I have the CD version. I'll
I'll
have to look.
I'll show you it. So I'll show you the very first Hell's Headbangers release.
So what's the Metal Enterprise? What is that logo about?
That was Jim's label. He wanted to go half and half in it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's why it took forever to come out because he wanted 50% of the vinyls. He's like,
Okay.
I want half of them. But here's the see. It has the old original Hell's Headbangers cheesy ass logo too in the corner. The we called it the cow skull. Now this, but we were just
Yeah.
kids. Look
Yeah.
at it. Can you see the cow
Yeah.
skull?
Yeah, it's on the vinyl too, I think.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's the original.
Yeah.
Um this has our old Medina Road address. This was back when we were living in our parents' house, dude.
Yeah.
But this is the very first. See, if you see the spine, look, Hell's 001.
Nice.
Because that is
Sorry.
this is the very first thing our company ever put out. Look, it's even got a business card in there as well. The old Jim Satanic, as he called himself, Jim Sadis was for Nunslaughter. His nickname by guys like Ross Dolan and shit would call him Jim Lasagna, but Jim Kanye was his name. But look, it's Jim Satanic and Spawn of Satan.
Nice. Dude, I'll have to look. I wonder if I have that.
And
Yeah, I
then
can't remember.
here's the business cards we're handing out back in the day. I just have
Yeah,
one
I've
inside
seen
mine.
that. I've got one of the, or I used to have one of them. I've seen that
Look at
before.
this thing on the back. It says available upcoming releases. Check this shit out, man. Available upcoming releases. Pending 2004 releases. But the one that's what stars next to it. But ones that were coming out presumably in 2003. Evil Incarnate, Black as Hymns of God's Disgrace, which was the first 12-inch we ever pressed. Nunslaughter Cerebus 7-inch. Mortician Flesh Grind, Living Dead 12-inch. That's the first thing we ever pressed by Mortician was Mortician split with Flesh Grind 12-inch live LP.
Yeah, man.
Core Horror Abigail CD, which was the second CD we ever put out. Nunslaughter Ritual of Darkness 7-inch EP slash picture disc because there's 100 of those made. Deceased Fearless Undead Machines, that was the second vinyl we ever pressed. Sentinix Decadence Prophecies of Cosmic Chaos, I believe that was the third LP we ever pressed. And then stars next to it, which it says pending 2004 releases, the ones with the star. Slaughter Fuck a Death, Atomizer, Songs of Sacrifice, Songs of Slaughter. Half these idiots watching me, they don't even know who Atomizer is, most underrated goddamn band from Australia. Toxic Holocaust, Evil Never Dies picture disc. Half these fucking jackasses don't even realize all the Toxic Holocaust, the Critical mass demo, Toxic Holocaust, Evil Never Dies, and Toxic Holocaust, Hell on Earth. Hell's Headbangers did picture discs of those, all with outer die-cut covers. Dawg owns them all, of course. Toxic Holocaust Critical Mass LP. Oh yeah, we did the demo on LP as well and picture. That's forgot. And then Exhumed Hemorrhage, 7-inch, which I told a story on that. Exhumed was shucking and jiving. Matt Harvey moved to Hawaii. I thought he was dead or in jail. Didn't know what the fuck happened. He fell off the face of the earth. So it became Nunslaughter Hemorrhage. And you're the one that did the artwork for it.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I was gonna.
That's on that card right there. So if you have a copy to show,
Yeah, I
did the
do.
artwork for that. So that's how long we were dealing with you. That says on the card that came out in 2004. Yeah, that's the Nunslaughter Hemorrhage. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's funny about that? Well, here's also the saw blade one, alternate art on it.
Did you have the saw with you? The saw blade? I taught them.
Yeah.
Show them that blade. I told them I was like, it's a real saw blade on there. They're like, what?
Dude, the packaging you guys did, it always like has been super phenomenal.
But I think that's the first release we ever worked with you, right? That we used your art, right?
Yeah, well, and actually, it was I got it over here. I'll share it in a second. But the funny thing about this Nunslaughter piece, I don't remember how you guys acquired it, but it was also bootlegged on this
Oh, I
Saturday.
didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, Sylvester from Final Corps did the layout. And he was telling me like, "Oh, I just found it online or something." I don't remember, but it
Mhm.
was actually that drawing was originally. I'll try to cover it. There's a little bit of nudity on it, but it was actually the Lividity illustration originally for them back
Oh,
in
okay.
the '90s.
I didn't
So
realize that.
yeah, so that thing got repurposed a couple times, but
Nice. I didn't see. You're showing me stuff I didn't even know. But yeah, but that was the Gunslaughter side. Yeah, the Beast of Mocker, just that's the 10-inch.
yeah. So I think that's the first thing that I did for Hell's because
Okay.
I think Chase may have reached out to me through email asking for some art for. I didn't know who Hell's Headbangers was, new to me at the time.
Well, at that point, dude, we were new. We were around 2, 3 years or whatever. That's back when we were, yeah.
Yeah, so that I was, I just sent him some stuff, and I guess it was used on the non-slaughter hemorrhage and the Bastille mockery, and I can't remember. I think that may have been. I did. I mean, I've done some other stuff for you guys throughout the years.
Oh yeah, 100%. You did the destructor nailed. You did a bunch of a couple destructors, right? The open. Did you do the
Yeah,
Opprobrium cover?
I did. Yeah, so I've got the. Actually, I think I got the original here.
But no,
Yeah,
you don't. No, no, you done a bunch. You and because I was going to ask you about him, Matt Putrid.
yeah. And Matt's somebody I've been in touch with for a long time. I haven't been in touch recently, but back in like maybe the early 2000s or
But
something.
have you ever met Matt in person?
No, I mean I've spoken with him on the phone. That dude's speaking of charisma, that guy
That's what I was
too.
gonna say. He's one of a kind too. He's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is actually really funny. He's such a good personality.
But
Just
the thing is dude, in my mind, and again, this could be just be in my mind, in the death metal scene, I would say around give or take. I'm not going to say exact years. Let's say 2006 to let's say 2012 ish, give or take a couple years. In my mind, in the death metal scene, it seemed like you and Matt Putrid were almost like in competition almost. It was like who's doing more covers. Like there was so much shit coming on the underground. It's almost guaranteed it's either Mark Riddick or Matt Putrid. At least it seemed that way.
yeah, Matt's he's a cool dude. I don't know what he's up to right now. I haven't checked out his social media in a while, but I think the last stuff I saw him do was for maybe, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because they're French Canadian, but the Outer Tomb album covers. I think maybe been some of the last stuff I saw him working on. But I've always loved his style. He's got sort of like that EC comics,
Mm-hmm.
like horror type inking style and coloring style. So I've always appreciated his work. We collabed once a long time ago too on something, probably around like 2008 or something like that. Um, but yeah, super cool dude. I haven't
Well,
been.
that's what kills me, dude. Is because stuff like that, it's just like second nature to me. Like just like if you mentioned Chris Moyen
Yeah,
or Wes Ben Scott, but dude, what kills me, and again, at the end of the day, do I care? No, it's not like it's something I get outraged or upset by, but I just don't. It's so foreign to me that I just got to get my own moji face. What's that moji face where you put the hands on the
oh,
face? I got to get my
yeah,
own personal moji, and
yeah.
that'll be my goddamn my thumbnail for this. Do you realize there's people that are watching this video right now, dude, that they don't know who you are, Mark Riddick or Matt Putrid? And I'm just like, how the fuck are you into death metal and don't know who that is? That's like saying you don't know who Chris Moyen is. Like, what do you mean? I was like, that's just stupid. I was like, again, it's almost like just literally go get the word poser branded in your fucking forehead, Glenn Benton style. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, how do you not? Like, do you not know who Deicide is either? Like, what the fuck?
No, it's funny.
But
Yeah,
dude, that's the shit I get. That's where like we're talking about customer service, where like it's frustrating. These are
yeah.
the messages I get and shit. Like people, what do you mean? I never heard of like that's where I get frustrated. I'm like, come on, dude. Am I talking to a bunch of 12-year-olds or just straight up fucking
Yeah,
retards?
the scene is different now for sure. I mean, even
Got that right.
the last show I went to, I'm looking around, I'm like, all the band T-shirts I'm seeing is like Tomb Mold and Blending. And don't get me wrong, like those bands are good in their own right for what they're doing, but I'm just like, man, you can dig a little bit deeper. There's more stuff out there than what's being fed to you currently.
Correct.
And not that those bands are bad. I mean, I've worked with a lot of
No,
newer
they're just they're the current bands of today. I use them as the benchmark to bust their balls. But the reason I do is for the right you said. those are the current bands that are popular. Which if you're 15 and that's who you heard first and got you into death metal, awesome, that's cool. I totally get that. That's like if it was the year 2000 and Nile Amongst the Catacombs got you into death metal. Like, oh yeah, cool, fair enough. But you don't stop there. At
Yeah.
least not if you're passionate about it. That's
Right.
and the thing is that's my only point when I bust those bands balls. And I thought that point was so goddamn obvious. But there's like 10 people that watch me that understood what I even meant. Like all of them think, oh, he hates tomb mold. I'm like, no, I don't. Like I have no problem with them whatsoever. I don't
Yeah.
hate them at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, their stuff doesn't always hit with me. Their newest ones, some of the tracks were good melodic parts, and I've done work for them in the past, and they're easy to work with. They're cool dudes. And that's the
They very
thing.
well, yeah, they very well. I mean, I busted their balls. Don't get me wrong, because
Yeah.
that band photo on that Decibel, the guy in pink
Oh
shorts. I
yeah.
mean, come on, dude. But that's I'm just giving tough love. That's like, dude, if I saw one of my buddies walking around, his fly was down, or he had a boog
Yeah.
hanging, I'd call him out. I'd let him
Yeah.
know. I'm
Yeah.
bro, you got shorts on and they're pink. You're taking a press photo. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where's your chains and leather, baby? Where's the black Druid? Where's the black attack? Like what, I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah. It's very generational, very much generational. That I've observed at least. But yeah, man, I pulled a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you're interested. I did pull a bunch of like Ohio stuff.
Well,
Uh,
pull this, yeah, but yeah, pull some Ohio stuff. I have a
I don't want
couple
to keep you
questions for you.
too.
Like, when did you start drawing, and like, what's the first piece that you drew? Because I showed you the first Hell's Headbangers release.
Yeah.
What's the first
Um,
piece of art that was distributed for? It doesn't even have to be in the metal scene. Let's just say that was used on a public piece of whatever.
yeah, I would say Scavenger Magazine, which was a fanzine from Washington State. If I recall correctly, it was
Now, what
edited
year is this?
91, 92, and I
Oh,
think it
see,
was
dude, I see
90.
that's you're going wait. Like, I learned who you were probably from Hell's working with you, or maybe I was like, because I remember roughly you showed the Beastmacher Destructor cover, and I
Yeah,
remember Chase roughly showing the art. Like this guy's like I vaguely remember that conversation. Like, dude, this guy's art's badass. And I think I remember saying, "Oh no, yeah, I own an album." He did. I was like, "Yeah, his art's awesome." I was like, "I didn't know," but roughly around that early 2000s when I heard of you.
okay.
So I figured you were going to say 99, 2000. I didn't think you were doing stuff since 91.
Oh yeah. Well, I got into the underground scene in 91. I think some of the illustrations I did were from 91, but got published in 92. So it's just an underground fanzine, but it was done by the one of the guys from a band called Landfill, which is more like of an industrial infused metal. And I think they put a couple things out on Wild Rags back in the day. So that was the first time. And then Son of Dog was a Kentucky-based band, if I recall correctly, that was more like grindcore, and I did like a 7-inch EP cover for them. So that was early on. I think those guys went on to do some other project called like Lord Fowl or something like that. Um, yeah, just dude, just a mixed bag, man. I did pull a couple things.
Yeah,
Just
pull them out, dude. Show
some folks I was in touch with back in the day. My brother may have been in touch with some of them too, but I can't recall because 35 years ago. Well, Ash, right?
Ash Thomas.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Necrolatry, that's his band before he did Estuary of Calamity.
Oh, he never turned me on to necrology because I just know like I know Shed the Skin, Faith Extractor,
Yeah.
Estuary, the shit, he's in a ton of bands.
Oh
Oh, but
yeah.
I don't know necrology. No, he left me in the dark, man.
I think he was in there. Let me double check. I don't know.
He probably was. He just
Yeah,
left me in the dark.
that was more death metal because I think Estuary. Yeah, he's in it because Estuary of Calamity was more death doom, but Necrolatry I think was a predecessor to Estuary of Calamity, which was a predecessor of Estuary. There's some other bands too, man. Obviously, your brother's band,
But
Crucified.
that's your so you saying that with Ash Thomas then for the necrology that you saying that's the first band that you did art for then?
No, I didn't do any art for them, but I remember being in touch with them. I used to do a compilation tape series called Gore Mordant,
Okay,
and that's I don't know. You probably know Mordant Red. That's
of course.
yeah.
Well,
So
more than red, they're playing my
yeah,
show. Oh boy, you did the
yeah,
flyer.
yeah, yeah. So I remember watching his YouTube channel, and he mentioned that that's how they
Well,
wanted.
let's give that shout out because again, Mark,
Yeah,
dude, he's just fuck, man. You need to read my comments. See, they blow your mind. So we got to spell it out for all the. That's why we call them bubbles out there. Bubbles from Trailer Park. Hey guys, I'm not sure about that. So for all the bubbles watching, so you
Oh yeah,
know, the Dead by Dog tickets in the description box. Bubbles. The flyer for that. This is the guy that drew it. So all those
yeah,
flyers you see me handing out, the flyers you see in the background of most of my office videos, Mark hit me up and he drew it. Kramer Antichrist drew it. Because, dude, you'd be surprised, dude. Like, you're like, well, of course they know, Justin. They don't. That's the thing. I told them, but they just don't know. Like, I'm
yeah,
like, dude, the shit that they don't like get. Again, I give them the answers. I tell them, and it's like, dude, how the fuck did you pass high school? Like I told you. Like, how do you not know this shit? Like, I don't get it.
yeah. It's funny. Yeah. So more than Red, he the band is named after this part of the band. Reason why they named their band supposedly is because of this comp I put out. I guess he ordered it from me back in the early '90s or something. I guess it left an impression on him, but
Oh
it's
no, shit. Yeah, I didn't know that because I even kind of like busted his balls in a sense, in a good way. Because when I heard the his first single, "Hatred for Mankind," which I thought was a really good, probably because the first song I heard, to this day my favorite Mordant Red song.
yeah.
Um, I was calling it Mordant Reed. What I was like, because it's with art. I was
Oh,
like, I don't know. I was like, he's like, so it's red, dumbass. I was like, well, wait, dumbass. I don't know. It's spelled with the red spelled RED. Last I checked, so I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a funny small world moment, but yeah, man.
it is. What have you ever seen? Um, I call him Red, even though his name's Revocator or Revok or whatever in the band name. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen him without his mask?
No, I don't think
Oh
so.
yeah, okay. Because yeah, but I did. Did you see the episode? I went on his podcast
I
once,
think I
twice.
may have seen it. Yeah, you guys did a conversation or something,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. It's on his
Yeah, I
channel.
think so.
It's like what we're doing. But I went on his channel. He invited me on. This is like 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think I saw
And
it.
when we were done, he took his mask off, and then I met him in person 2, 3 times, twice. When I went down to Hell's Heroes to
Hmm.
see Attic and do that interview I did in Texas, he was at that. He came up to me and Lindsay, and we hung out. And then I met him when Mordant Red played with Asheron in Columbus. They flew out here
Oh,
and we drove out. Vincent invited me. He wanted me to what you call that when you introduce the bands?
oh, like MC it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sing.
yeah. Which I did. It was a little awkward because I never done that before, but nonetheless. But Mordant Red played there, and they were really really good live. That's part of the reason why I asked them to play my show.
Oh
It's
yeah,
because they're a U.S. black metal band, but what really stood out about it, I mean, I enjoy their songs, but what it stood out the most was like live. They had an '80s hardcore punk
I can see.
attitude. Like
Yeah,
the stage banner and the charisma and the way they moved, it was super punk hardcore. And I'd never seen a band that just playing like majority black metal
right.
combine that. It's usually just a bunch of tough guys fucking that are Count Chocula standing there that if they'll shake their head at best. They didn't have that aggressive, like negative approach, like attitude. And it was the first time, I thought that stood. I thought it was original. I thought it was now maybe there's another band that's done it, but I never seen one personally, and that really stood out. And I was like, oh, that was really fucking cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get that vibe just seeing their aesthetic, and I've got one of their releases. Like it's one of the like it's kind of packaged in a 7-inch EP packaging,
Mhm.
but it's a CD. Um, yeah, and I get that vibe from their music and just the aesthetic too. I think I've seen maybe some like music videos they've done in the past.
Mhm. I know they
But
done music videos. I don't know if there's any like real live footage, but yeah, they done a couple music videos for some of their
yeah,
songs. But I haven't seen any. I'm sure somebody on their phone recorded live, but I didn't
oh
watch them because I was like, hell, I was like, I seen them live, and hell, I'll see them again in August.
yeah,
I'll just watch them myself. What do I need to
yeah,
watch this T-boners video for? I'll just watch them in person.
yeah. But, yeah, so back in the early '90s, somewhat connected with the Ohio scene. Uh, Balmer, you remember? I mean, obviously, you know these
Into
guys.
the oven, dude. One of the greatest demos to ever come out of Ohio. Amaze
It's,
Balls demo. That's with again, dude. This is like common knowledge to me. It's super common knowledge to any old school and death metal. That's with Wolf singing. That was before Rick Fleming, who sang on "There Was Blood Everywhere" singing. Now Wolf, Toby Wolf, Tony Wolf, Toby Wolf, right? Um, I never even met him. I think he lives in Texas now. I hear he's a born again Christian. Which sorry to
oh
hear that.
wow,
What's
really?
that?
I didn't realize that. Yeah, Toby Wolf is the name. Yep.
Now, what's really cool, if you and it's the only band that has done this in history, in my opinion, in death metal history, anyways, at least that I've heard, with multiple vocals. Toby Wolf, the way he sings, he does the lows and he does those highs. Rick
Mm-hmm.
Fleming took over, which the first thing I heard was that There Was Blood Everywhere comp disc, which came on Relapse Records. And There Was Blood Everywhere comp disc is the There Was Blood Everywhere 7-inch and the Rotten Body Fluids demo. And those were both the Rick Fleming recordings. Well, Rick taking over, you could tell he was trying to sing like Toby. And that's what you should do if you're taking over as a vocalist. And
Sure.
then fast forward literally 20 goddamn years, when Paul joined the band, Paul Gorfin, he's in Balmer when Balmer was around, and now he sings for Kernagia. They put out Emanations from the Crypts on Hell's Headbangers. When he took over, I'm like, my biggest thing, I was like, yeah, Balmer's around. I was like, but dude, they had those unique vocals, the three-way
Yeah.
dual vocals that sound like nobody.
Yeah.
And so I was so skeptical. I was like, Paul's not going to do that. He's just going to go up there and growl. And he imitated them very, very well too.
Oh,
So each
nice.
three, they kept that formula between three guys, and I've never heard that because even Cannibal Corpse, as much as
Oh, yeah.
I like Chris Barnes era and I like Corpse Grinder era, they sound nothing alike.
No, they
Like
don't.
if I was Cannibal Corpse, me personally, just how I run around my band, at the time, I wouldn't have hired Corpse Grinder. Now, obviously, it was a good business decision. It worked out. But the reason I didn't, not because he's a bad vocalist, he's awesome, and Monstrosity was awesome. I was like, just you sound nothing like Chris. I was like, we need to get somebody that sounds similar because that's the front man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just kind of staying true to that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because, dude, there's nothing more disappointing than when you change your front man and it's a
Mhm.
different. That's why I'm not big on like anything past Legion area on Marduk. I'm not big on. I was like, I listened. I was like, it's quality extreme black metal. I was like, but it doesn't have the same magic to me because I loved Legion's voice. Now, don't be wrong. The three albums that he doesn't sing on, those first three, those are amazeballs too. But again, those were prior to him. So it's like, well, what the fuck? I mean, technically, that wasn't the original formula. But he was on majority of the records that I like. And then when he was gone, like when I listened to Plague Angel and stuff, I was like, it's extreme as fuck. I was like, it's not bad. I was like, to me, it's just a different band now.
I hear that. Yeah, I never. I don't even know if I own any Marduk stuff. I might have one.
Panzer Division Marduk is my favorite black metal album of all time.
Really? Oh man, I
Mm-hmm.
have a kind of weirdo taste in black metal.
So do I. So I'm told that they beat up on me all the time for liking Cradle of Filth and Demu Borger. And
That's funny.
yeah.
I'm more like Master's Hammer, anything Greek, like the Gaddis that you guys put out. Holy crap! The Eternal List is probably my favorite HHR release, and I know it's not
But
like
that's
super.
not like pure. That's like black. Like that's like a.
It's
I don't
more
even,
heavy metal.
yeah, that's
It's
what I say. It's like but just like bands like Zamail and yeah, the Goddess and hell, even the other bands like Verathron and Rotting Christ. Yeah, it's black metal, but it's not in the traditional sense of what
no,
people are thinking. It's
yeah,
funny. I actually just re-listened to Verathron, His Majesty of the Swamp, like this week, and that's a really good. I mean, I always liked that record, but it's
mhm.
been a long time since I spun it. That's a good ass record.
Yeah, actually, Stefan is probably one of the longest lasting people I've ever been in touch with in the underground scene. Because I think I was in touch with them probably around 92. And I did some work for them even up until like a year or two ago. I think I did
Uh,
something for them. Um, but that guy is like one of the longest lasting pen pals, if you want to call it that. Obviously we're not like constantly in touch, but somebody I have stayed in touch with over the years. But I just sort of have an affinity for that Greek sound or that Mediterranean sound, like Mortuary Drake, Necromath,
mhm.
stuff like that. So my black metal is more like either the Mediterranean sound, some of the South American stuff, and then I'd say like the Scandinavian stuff would kind of be like last on my list in terms of like music preference for
No,
black
I
metal.
understand from the point that those bands definitely do have a more unique sound as opposed to just like some of the bands that I say I like the Dark Funerals and Mardukes. I mean, let's call it like it is. It is this digga 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 fucking black metal. So I can understand where it's just like, all right, this band again, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, but the Gaddis release that you guys did, man, and I have some of the other stuff they put out on Iron Pegasus, but
Yeah, they did. Yeah, one or two things for
yeah,
sure.
I think I have at least one of them. I forgot the
Yeah,
name. But the one
is
you
the
got,
Weaving Fate? I think.
that's it. Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
yeah.
But the one you guys did, man, it's such a phenomenal. all the way throughout. And that
See,
and like,
I didn't picture you liking that stuff at all. I pictured you just as a
oh
death metal guy. Again, probably because just your art and your art's primarily used in death metal.
yeah,
I always picture you just as more of a death metal because I see your orders come through and I see that you buy other stuff. But whenever I think Mark Riddick, I just think of like death metal guy.
yeah. I mean, that's my staple, I would say, but I tend to lean toward stuff that's proggy or melodic too on occasion. But
Yeah.
or just like weirdo. Anything this kind of weirdo or out of the ordinary, or so like if I find
Did
a
you
band.
like the band? Did you like the Greek band that we put out, Funeral Storm?
Yeah, dude, I have I didn't buy the new one, but I have the I
It's good.
think
It's good. Yeah, both albums are good. Yeah, I liked
yeah,
them.
it is good. I also picked up I saw you interviewed Patrick, which is cool from Iron Bonehead, and
Yeah.
I picked up the old Outlier released this Australian band. Sounds very Greek, strangely
Okay.
enough.
I haven't heard that.
It's
Yeah.
really good. I mean, if you like melodic kind of, and it's a little bit different. It's good. I really like that album. It's probably even though I've only had about a week or two to spin, it's probably one of my favorites from the
Okay.
year from last year, I should say. But
2025.
but yeah, and Iron Boneheads like they typically go like in an area that's not really my taste because they're very noisy and no, just very noisy and like I don't want to call it all war metal because it's not all that, but
Yeah.
I tend to like a little bit more melody.
You know, it's funny. Like, there's technically no label that really is my taste. And that includes Hell's Headbangers. Meaning, there's labels that put out stuff of some
Yeah.
stuff I like. And the funny thing is, if you were to pick a label that's like my taste, the one that hits it the most is probably someone like Vic Records. But I don't
Oh,
think they count because he's just putting out like old school death metal that's already come out.
yeah.
But as far as a label doing newer bands, there's nobody. And I think just because for newer bands, I'm so sporadic where there's just so many one-offs that I like here and there because like we talked about earlier, there's so many to choose from. Most
Oh,
bands and most new bands that come out, I don't think it sucks at all. It's just there's so much to listen to. I'm just like,
yeah. I needed to knock my socks off, and
that's
I
exactly
want
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and I do find something at least every year that is really has me kind of
Yeah.
drooling. But I agree. Like I tend to bounce around to different labels for purchasing, and it helps carries a lot of stuff. So sometimes I'll just go through you guys because I'm like you carry
Yeah.
10 different
Yeah, it's an
labels.
easy. That's what we try to do. To try to make it we call it Hellmart. Try to make it the Walmart of metal. So it's a
Yeah,
one-stop shop. Just that's why people bitch. Why do you stock these Nazi bands? Why do you have bootlegs? I'm like, dude, it's fucking Hellmart. We have everything. If it's metal, we have it, motherfucker. It's a one-stop shop.
yeah,
You need
and
your
you
if you need your milk, your bananas, your undies, your fucking tires for your car, your oil, we got it all. One-stop shop, Holmes. You know what
that's
I mean?
it's very true. This is kind of funny. This is sort of a side note. There was one product I picked up from you guys. It was what's the name of the band? It had the fetus on the cover. It's a photograph. It's like a post a damn it.
Newer band or older band?
It's an older band, but it was repressed by some label. I don't know who repressed it, but it was really good. I enjoyed it, but it like skipped like halfway through the CD. I took the CD out, and it looked like when labels send stuff, they'll sometimes tape up, and you get a stack of CDs, and they're all
Yeah, that's
taped
how they trade.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no tray because I know you guys have the symbol, all that BS, but I think it was like the bottom CD where the tape residue got stuck to it. I
No,
tried to,
that's a retard that doesn't know how to do it though. Yeah, you're right. That's
yeah,
probably what happened. But again, dude, here's the thing, man. That's
but I didn't
part
want
that's part of hell's success because these idiots they're fucking idiots. Like what you do, dude, is you do like this. Let's say you have a stack of CDs. You have two CDs.
you saran wrap it first, right?
Yeah, but you don't say you have a stack of 50. This is two CDs. You
Yeah,
don't have your top disc
right.
here, your
They're
bottom disc like that, and wrap them. No, moron. Your 50th disc, you do this.
Yep. Yep.
And then you shrink wrap them.
Yes.
Like, Jesus, fuck, man. Does mom tie your shoes for you too? Because
Yeah.
otherwise, like you said, the bottom disc will get damaged.
Yeah, I could tell. And it's funny because I know I'm thinking in my head, man, they probably all the customer service. So I was like, I'll just buy a new one at some other point in time because I didn't want to inconvenience you with all the customer service
Oh,
BS.
I would just send it to you, dude.
No, no, no,
That shit. I just, yeah.
I don't think you guys have it in stock anymore, so I'm not sweating it. But it was actually Ted. Ted put it out, the Crypt. So I was kind of
Oh no,
surprised
really, really, yeah.
because usually I would think like he's been in the scene forever, dude. Like
And
he
keep in
knows.
mind too, though, some stuff that we get, just because it's the label that put out, not necessarily, especially if it's an older release, did we
Yeah.
get it from them? It could have been
Oh,
somebody else. They had a backstock, and we got it from some other dum dum.
I got
But again, so that shit's very annoying. But I try to look at the positive, and the positive is that's your competition. And when your competition is that goddamn dumb and they're doing stupid shit like that, they make it pretty easy. You
you.
don't
Yeah.
have to be that great to be like, man, this guy's kicking ass. It's like, actually, I don't kick that much ass. It's just everybody else sucks. It's like the old saying, dude, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. You know what
Nice,
I mean?
nice. I like
And
that.
dude, that's the metal scene. Like that's what part of the secret of our success, man. Is just the competition is fucking trash. I mean, you've been to shows, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've met some serious, successful, and go-getter metalheads that they exist. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't, but it's not the norm.
No, it's not. There are labels come and go. I mean, there's some newer ones that are doing seem to be, at least from my perception, doing pretty well, which is good. I was going to ask you too, actually, since you mentioned the label again. When you guys go out to vend at, like, let's say Maryland Death Fest, it's obviously worth your time because you have a lot of captive audience. How do you who how did you facilitate getting the booth set up? It looks like you guys have some custom scrims and stuff like that made and stands and all that. Do you guys have
So,
to outsource it, or how do you get that
well,
manufactured?
so that's kind of a two-part question. As far as how we got the stand, to my knowledge, you just contact them like, hey, can we vend? Like, just contact
Oh no, I
mdf.com.
mean like the physical, like actual like booth that you guys have to
Yeah, that
haul.
was just so that was something like yeah, it's debatable if it's worth it or not for all the hours he puts in. Like at that, Eric built all that shit.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Good for him. I wasn't sure if you guys had to outsource to a company to have that manufactured. Actually, that I've got another question for you. You guys, some of your older releases, and I'm sure you're still doing it because I know you guys do like metallic inks, spot varnishes, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Foils.
we have, yeah. It's been a while since we've done one, but yeah, we have.
This is an old Nunslaughter split with throat with.
Thronium. Yeah, that's what's that 2000, what's that spine say, Holmes? 2004, 2005? How's my
It's
aim?
it's EP10.
That was
I'm a,
before we even. That's so goddamn old. We weren't even put. We were too stupid of kids to put the year on. I remember. I don't remember what year it was, but we're like,
probably.
why aren't we putting the pressing year on our stuff? It's like we're just a bunch of idiots.
Well, you guys got it. You got the die cut here. You got the die cut here. But this is a what's called a lenticular print, where
Yeah,
you have the
it's a
like
hologram.
two images, right? Like,
Yeah.
how is that? GZ do that for you? Like, whose idea was it
So
to?
the actual cover, the die cut cover, that was back when me and Eric worked at a print shop.
Oh, okay.
Granted, everybody chill the fuck out. The stuff I was printing was boring as hell. I was literally printing State Farm forms. Like State Farm was one of the big customers. Stuff for
Sure.
Panther traveling. But I print like the State Farm letterhead. So when they'd send in a job, it was like once a month. It was for 2 million forms, and that would be about an 80-hour job. So that's literally 2 weeks there. Boring as shit. No goddamn less. I wasn't working anything cool. Eric, however, he worked on a die cutter, which die cutting shapes and images, right? So once he learned how to do that, he he basically said, "Hey, can we press this here?" We had to pay for all the materials and shit, and the printer, which I didn't press that kind of stuff. They would print the covers in house, which I guess we got a discount, but not you still had to pay for it. And then the die cut, they didn't charge for that because Eric would do it. Eric worked third shift, and he would do it off the clock, die cut the Hell's Headbanger stuff. And then we got the holograms just pressed, whoever the hell pressed holograms, and
Yeah,
then glued them in by hand.
dude, that's nuts. I didn't know those were. So it's something like this then. It's
Church Bazaar just talked about him recently. Jens, hit me up, god damn it. Yeah,
dude,
that's what Brett. Dude, that's
this
the
one,
album by Church Bazaar. Dude, again, these fucking T-boners.
man,
Do you
this
know how
is.
many? Dude, Mark, do you realize? So that band right there, because that's a phenomenal album.
I agree. This is one of my favorite releases you guys have ever done.
Right, exactly. Dude, you realize, I'm telling you right now, if we're lucky, 100 people watching this have ever heard that album. If we're lucky.
They're missing out.
Totally missing out. And but
Well,
dude, this is why they crack me up. This is why these T-boners quack me up Marduk style. Because if they come up to me in person, yo, dog, have you ever heard of stabbing?
oh
Who?
no.
And yeah,
Oh,
but you mentioned Church Bazaar, it's deer in headlights, dick in the mouth. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, you don't
no.
even know the good shit.
Well,
Go get an IQ before you can even talk to me, homie.
these guys aren't around anymore, are they? This
Fuck
is
no. I just gave the shout out my video that went up a couple days.
I
Jens
saw
Peterson.
that.
Dude, Jens Peterson's the singer for that band, and he sings for Church and for Victimizer. And
I
I
didn't
want
see.
to do an interview. I've never met him, but Craig, my brother, when he was in Nunslaughter stayed at his house.
Oh
And
shit! Really?
and Jens was bragging because Jens' house was built the same year as Abigail was born,
Wow.
1777. So he was built. He's bragging, my house built the same year as Abigail, 1777. And he's got a fucking Cobra, for Sylvester Stallone, the movie Cobra, the cover. He's got that
Okay.
tattooed on him.
Huh.
Loves Arnold. I know all kinds of lines, but I'm trying to get Jens. Jens, email me. What the fuck, man? Let's do a goddamn Zoom.
So is Victimizer even around still, or are they
Fuck
defunct?
no. They've been gone for years.
I was wondering. Yeah, so his vocals actually really make. Well, first of all, the music it's evil. It's very catchy riffs, right?
Very
Um,
catchy. The 7 inch, do you have the 7 inch evoked or not?
yeah,
Evil will
I,
come.
I do. Yeah, I have a 7 inch also. It's
Because
also
you want horror stories on how that was put together. I had that firsthand experience. That sucked balls.
Let me see if I can find it really quick.
If not, I could dig mine out. It's in my closet in the 7 inch box. But that 7 inch is fantastic. The title track alone, evoked or not, for all you T-boners watching it, YouTube it. That's some real DM right there.
Is it this one?
No, that's the demo. That demo is fantastic. That's the demo. Aster. So again, all these goddamn dude. There's metal history. Get metal history like a motherfucker. That's the demo on 7 inch. Aster from Denial of God.
Yeah.
The Denial of God. Tickets in the description box. Bubbles. First time in the country. Aster released that on his label because Aster was in Church Bazaar as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know horror.
He's either Church Bazaar or Victimizer. Hang on, yeah, I could be wrong on that. He was in Victimizer for sure. Let me bust it out.
Well, you're right.
I don't want to say too much, again, especially since they're playing my shit, but let's just say this. Aster and Jens, I don't know what their status is now, but I know they had a falling out. I know the story, and I'm not going to tell it on camera because I don't think they'd want to know that. But it was a funny one. Let me say that. But yeah, no, because let me pull a Victimizer. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Aster was just in Victimizer because here, but he wasn't on the album. So this is the Unholy Banners of Victimizer. This was like it was like a tracks with the demo on here. Dr. Rape. What the fuck? They had the other tough guy names. I'm almost positive Aster was in Victimizer.
I could check the metal archive.
Yeah, if you have it in front of you, yeah. He could have been in Church Bazaar too. The reason I know is, again, because it's a story I don't want to tell.
Yeah, he was a member. He played bass for a while.
In which one? Victimizer or?
Yeah, Victimizer. He was on a split release they did with
Nunslaughter?
Yeah, Nunslaughter.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. And it looks like he was on another split with a couple band with Betrayed and Farscape. Farscape, I think, is a Brazilian band.
Correct.
And another band. And then he was on an EP they put out that you guys put out. It was Rapid Thrashing Violence.
Yep. We had a joke about that. You want to see that? Fucking did the fuck up. This is an Easy E classic. Yeah, dude. We used to call it, dude, Rapid Thrashing Violence. Fucking numbnuts spelling it wrong around the fucking front cover. You bet your ass he got an earful for that. C-Dawg reading him a new one. Fucking gay as fuck. Violence, you fucking retard.
Oh no.
And these guys, dude, these morons, they have the audacity to make fun of me when I misspell something in my titles. I'm like, hey, at least there's not 1,000 pressed out there. Yeah, that's and I can fix mine on the fly. Dude, this is Rapid Thrashing Violence. There's 7 inches of these. The CD version, so it's 4 studio songs and mighty fine studio songs, I must say so myself. As a matter of fact, the opening song, Hell Made Metal, fantastic song. Dawn of the Dead wrote the lyrics for it.
Oh, dude, you got it's the special kind of printing on the disc too, right?
I don't know if it's special, but it's printing on it.
Oh yeah, I see the white comes out over the.
But so this is an EP, right? It's 4 songs.
Yeah.
The 7 inch is just the studio songs. The CD, because the band wanted a CD version, It has a bonus live set then. Live Denmark, September 9th, 2006.
Oh,
This was the last thing that they put out.
oh, yeah.
The first and last full length they put out was this, the Final Assault.
Oh, I have that one. Yeah, I
We
do have
put this out, so dude, check this shit out, man. Almost 20 years ago. Next year will be 20. 2007. Hell's Headbangers put this out.
that. God. Man, that's another relic. Yep.
We did LPs for this, maybe, and I have the LP. Should just do we? I don't even remember. Did we? Hell, I'm gonna look. 'Cause I don't remember. I think we did a picture of this too. I can't remember. But we did.
I only have I think I only have the CD edition. I think that's the only thing I have by Victimizer. But yeah, the Church Bazaar stuff, man, the singing on it is really what makes it unique. But it's very melodic, very catchy still. Really good stuff. If people are missing out.
Yeah, check this shit out. Of course, the dog fucking has it, dude. We've done so much shit that I can't remember, dude. That's why I just literally fucking just roll my eyes when people are like, "Yeah, I just found out about Hell's Headbangers from this channel." I'm like, Jesus fuck, man, you got a lot of catching up to do. Here's the LP.
Nice.
Now this was the Die Hard version. See, it comes with a patch.
Is that a Dennis Dredd artwork on the cover? It looks like Dennis Dredd style.
Yep, Dread 2007.
Oh yeah, man. He did some stuff.
I'm trying. I don't remember for myself, dude. What color vinyl we did? It's only 100. Mine's number 9 out of 100, hand numbered.
So when if there's something you want that you guys press, how do you just buy it from the label wholesale? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's the also this.
I like.
There's 100 of these made. This is the first 100. Again, hand numbered. Pressed in 2007. Good luck, homie. Buy it on Discogs.
Yeah.
And then again, because I couldn't even remember, dude. Some of this again. This is so we're in 2026, so a year away from 2007. This is the picture disc version, which we generally don't do this to this day, but it's got a different outer cover. Look at this. You're bringing up foil stamps and shit like that. The picture disc, I think there was 500. I don't remember how many. Like I'm assuming 500. It has a foil stamp logo.
Yeah, people don't understand
but
that.
Then the picture disc is.
That's cool. Yeah, artwork, Dennis Dredd artwork.
Yeah, dude, this is hands down one of the best 2000s thrash album ever.
Really?
In my opinion.
I haven't listened to it in a long time.
As far as thrash from the 2000s, dude, this Bukkake's freaking Municipal Waste.
Oh yeah.
Bukkake's them, blowtorch slaughters them, sends them off to the morgue with fucking toe tags.
Dude, people don't realize that the care that you guys put into those releases, like that, they have to understand that that's an added expense for Hell's Headbangers to do a foil stamp.
Dude, it's thousands of dollars. That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, dude, that's why some of the shit people ask, and I just get annoyed. I'm just like, dude, there's literally people. I think I've made it perfectly clear at this point. There's people that they literally think that what I do and all I do is I make these videos. And I guess I just kick my feet up and collect checks all day. I was like, this is extracurricular activity, homeboy. This is on top of my extra duties. Hell no, this ain't what I fucking do. You're out of your. I was like, this is not even 1% of my daily activity.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't even know how you find the time with all the customer service.
Well, that's why. But dude, the way I do it is I half-ass it. I'll admit, because I don't care. I hit record just like this, dude. How I hit record, I'm gonna hit stop. This is getting upload. All the ums, ahs, oohs, hey, I get up, I gotta take a piss. That's all on. I don't edit because editing takes time. And part of the reason I do that, well, number one reason is because I don't have time to edit. F that. That's number one. Number two, it's how I grew up watching. Well, I shouldn't get grew up. I was growing up still. When YouTube first became a thing, the first channel that I really liked watching was called the Hodge Twins.
Okay.
It's two black brothers who are hilarious. Just look it up. They're still around. They're huge, dude. They're fucking millionaires. They do stand-up comedian now too. That they got but they start on YouTube. And literally their old videos when they're doing them, they started in like 2007, 6, 7, whatever it was. I probably stumbled across around 08, 09. Their early videos, they're still on YouTube. It's just them sitting on their bed in their like wife's bedroom, two twins sitting there in front of a camera, grainy quality talking, and it was hilarious. Because it was so real and so raw, and it felt like you're just having a conversation with your boys. There wasn't all these edits. There wasn't like, whoop, there's this commercial. Check out this, buy this. There was none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
And so
You know,
that's part of the reason I do it, like, because I was like, that's what I liked. As soon as everybody started getting fancy and they got this big dick microphone in their mouth, and it's all, I'm like, it's just, I didn't like it. I was like, this is stupid. Just hit record, hit stop, and upload, motherfucker.
it's funny. I think that's some of the appeal of what you're doing also is there's an authentic aspect to it. And I do feel like authenticity is extremely valued in the heavy metal community in general across the board. I
No,
think
dude,
that's
it's everywhere. That's why I do. The reason I knew it would work is because I watched it work in the bodybuilding world because
Mhm.
there was a couple guys that blew up, and the only guys that did, they were the most authentic and honest about everything, steroids, everything. Where everybody else they wouldn't talk about it, and they blew up. And the reason was because everyone, and this applies to everything though, everyone in this world is so goddamn fake that real shines through because no one does it. So it's
Yeah.
not just the metal scene.
Well,
Trust me, it's everywhere. Everything is so fucking fake. All these social media people, especially when you look at some of these influencers that are driving around Bugattis and stuff, you find out they don't even own it. They're just renting it. It's like they get this all for flash. It's all fake. It's all the guys that they try to be the most positive, inspiring. You find out they're depressed, looking down the barrel of a gun. They're doing fucking blow. They're just their life sucks. But yet that's not the message they give. So when you're given real, people like it because it's a breath of fresh air because nobody's doing it.
I think that's also what's kept heavy metal so potent over the years. I mean, in its own right, obviously, it's not mainstream music by any means, but parts of it are, but most of it's not. Uh, there's just something about that fan loyalty that
Mm-hmm.
comes with it. I think a lot of that just has to do with the authentic nature of the music, and I think that there's an appeal there, and that's why it's still alive and doing all right. You know, at least I
Mm-hmm.
think so. But yeah, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Dude. I don't want to keep you. I know it's
What's how long we been on? Where we at? We started
almost
10.
2 hours almost. I think
Yeah, that's
roughly.
cool.
I don't
Well,
want
was
to
there
keep.
anything else? Was there anything you wanted to bring up, Mark? Shout out or like put it this way. Let's give them some advertisement. Let's say somebody, a band or anything, wanted to hire you for your art. How do they get a hold of you and what do they do? Do you want to send me your contact and stuff put in the description box or
Yeah, I can email. It's basically just my email signature. But yeah, so best way to contact me is just through my website. I have a contact form on there. Um, don't contact me on social media because I don't look at it. I don't think I'm kind of like you. I'm a little inept when it comes to social media, so
yeah,
I don't bother with it. I don't need another account to like answer to. I can barely
yeah.
keep up with my current one. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not really at the. I mean, I'll take stuff. I'm just most of the stuff I'm doing now is like repeat customers, honestly. And
So would you say from what like let's say 15 years ago, would you say you slowed down intentionally then on doing art?
I wouldn't say I've slowed down. I'm still productive. I'm doing something like every week. It's just there are people I get real comfortable with in terms of customers or labels or whoever that I'll
Mm-hmm.
just tend to frequent in terms of they'll hit me up and I'll do whatever they need. And I'm also doing a lot of stuff for my own brand, like Riddick Art brand. So that's kind of keeping me a little preoccupied too. But yeah, I mean, I'm still open to commissions. I'm more into like doing like if I can like underground stuff, and I'll try to get like a newer band here and there just to mix it up. I don't really like. I try to be open to like a lot of different genres of metal, but I like obviously death metal is my preference, but I'll do like some other stuff here and there. Um, but yeah, so best way to reach me is through my website, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if somebody wanted something drawn up that had nothing to do with metal whatsoever, but they're willing to pay you, is that something you would even do? That you would entertain?
probably not. Unless it was like really, really interesting. Like right now, I'm working on something for a role playing game, which is to me kind of cool because it's a little bit different. But most
Okay.
stuff probably not. I'm very picky and choosy, which I'm grateful for. I'm
Yeah.
grateful that I can have that opportunity to be picky about what I want to take.
But you
Um,
don't think since you're getting those kind of inquiries, you don't think it's possible for you to do it full time if you wanted to, or is that just something you like? You just don't even want to.
no, I definitely could get enough work to do it full time. I just already have a full-time job. I'm like, what, close to 10 years out of close to retirement. So I'll just stick with, you know what I mean? I having
Yeah,
a full-time job. This is all freelance. This is like all my whatever free time I can spare between having two teenagers and other, obligations that it's just, I have to be careful with how I manage my time.
yeah,
So, which is also goes back to that YouTube, that idea of you doing a YouTube channel. Probably have
yeah,
to hold off on that for a little bit. But yeah, so I tend to be like more particular with clients that I'm
yeah.
working with. But I always have something to do. I always have something on my production schedule at all times. So I tend to be productive. It's
Do
just
you get a lot of knobs that you deal with? And like when I say knobs, like
I used
let's say someone hired you for a piece, right? And like you're done, it's time to pay up. Ah, bro, ain't got it.
Yeah, I mean I've dealt with that in the past for sure. But you can kind of sniff those out. I mean you have experience with your what you do. You can sniff that out before it even before you say yes to it.
Because
So,
personally, if it was me, now you can't do this if you're just a new artist because no one's going to hire you. You got to get your shit out there. But if I was your position, at the very least, I'm like, it's half the money up front,
yeah,
or at most, it's a full price up front. I was like, I'm not putting up that. Hell, I'll give you that thing even with Hell's Headbangers. If somebody contacts us and they want to place a wholesale, let's say it's like $1,000 wholesale that I have to ring up by hand. I tell them, I'm like, I could do it. I was like, it's $300 down payment. And the order's going to cost it. I was like, I know it's going to be at least $1,000. $300 down payment. And the reason being, dude, it takes me 30 minutes or so to ring it up. Never hear from them.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Then
no,
you
no,
yeah,
it's $300. That way, I know you're serious.
yeah. Then
Because
you
that
just
way, if they never reply, what I would do if they never reply, I'm just going to delete all the items down to $300 and send out $300 worth of shit.
Yeah, and that's fair. I agree. I mean, I usually do full upfront, but most of the customers I work with now are just recurring. So there's already a trust there. Like I'll just send them the piece and they pay me whenever they pay me, I'm not I'm not I've already dealt with enough of the dumb stuff. I'm
Yeah,
at the point where I don't need that headache. A lot of
I
the
know.
a
Yeah,
lot of the customers too now, I say at least half of them are more like established companies, stuff like that, where I don't have that's a non-issue.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I said, I still try to keep my foot in the door in terms of like underground music because that's what's most important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like taking work, I do tend to be picky and choosy. So unless you're like I'm trying to think of like Internal Suffering reached out recently. I did some stuff for them last year, and
Oh, sweet.
yeah, so like that, that's a band that has a legacy. Hell yeah,
100%.
it is an underground band. I never worked with them before, but it's a new customer. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that because I know who they are and they've been
Yeah.
around, for a while. So, um,
We're supposed to be playing at Ohio Death Fest.
oh, are they really? Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
the pre-day for Dead by Dog. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything or not, but I mean,
Too late now.
well, it's like number one, when are you going to announce the bands? And number two, it's not a secret. Number three, he said he's going to announce it in January, anyways. And this is going up in 10 days or so, so he probably would announce it by then. If he didn't, well, I guess spill the beans. Internal Suffering should be playing.
They'll have shirts I drew probably there, so
What's that?
they'll probably have the shirt I drew for them over there at the fest for available. I'm sure. So
Yeah,
that's yeah,
correct. But yeah, because that's the day before, August 1st, July 31st, the same Brian's, it's combined with me, Ohio Death Fest.
yeah, which is a great idea. I mean, that was a
Thousand
good thing.
percent, yeah, yeah. He hit me up like right after my show because Rotrevor played my past one. It was supposed to be regurgitation, but
Yeah.
back out Ben dicked me a month out. Yeah, I can't do it. Got a new job. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard, but okay. So Rotrevor played because Brian plays in both bands, and then
Okay.
afterwards Brian saw. He's like, dude, this was fucking great. And then he hit me up literally a week later about combining Ohio Death Fest colliding. I was like, my only thing, I was like, I'm up for it, dude. But I mean, the whole thing is, it's like that old saying, don't mix personal, I mean, business with like friends and shit. Cause it will really, so because the money and shit, I was like, it's be total separate. I was like, I'll shout it out. I was like, but you do the day before, you pay for everything. I'm doing my day. Sell tickets separately. So whatever you sell, that money's all yours. Whatever loss is all your loss, and vice versa. That way, there's no bad blood because that's how relationships get ruined. You got, well, dude, I did this much work. No, 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 dude. No, I'm not. I'm not getting into that. I've heard too many horror stories. I've been around. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
Yeah, that's the smartest way to do it, I feel like too. And I remember Ohio Death Fest. I remember seeing flyers in the mail and some of the
Did you
fanzines.
ever come up to any of them?
No, no, dude,
Yeah, I was at those at the early all the early 2000s ones. I was at all those. Maybe
oh
99.
wow,
I can't remember if I was at 99s. 2000 for sure. I was at 2000, 2001, and 2002. I was definitely at those three. I can't remember if 1999 we knew Brian at that point because it was always in April. I can't remember, but I think he started them in like 97 or so.
oh okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I must have been in touch. I think I mentioned before with his old band Sodomized.
Dynamite. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did one of their demo covers. I think it was their first or second
Oh, I
demo.
see. I didn't see. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so I must have been in touch. I assume I was in touch with him. It was so long ago, I don't remember. But
Yeah.
uh, I remember, doing the demo tape cover, obviously. But yeah, I didn't realize he was behind Ohio Death Fest until
Oh, you didn't know that?
I had no idea he was the one who managed it and stuff until
Yeah, it's all Brian. Yeah, yeah. Because Brian managed Ablated Records, Ohio Death Fest,
oh
and at
yeah, I
that time
believe it.
Regurgitation. That was like the three things he would do
Oh
at the
yeah,
same time.
okay. I That's right. I forgot he was doing the label too. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah. He's definitely a staple in the scene, especially like the
Yeah,
Ohio.
because the thing is it was weird. But like a lot, like which I'm not like spilling the beans or talking shit. Like it's public knowledge, everybody knows, especially in Ohio. Is like I think it was around 2003 or four, somewhere around there. He joined Gorgasm, which they're from Chicago,
Yeah, I did some
and
stuff.
but he completely disappeared. Like you got to remember, dude. I didn't start seeing Brian again. So 2003 or 2004 disappeared. Joined Gorgasm. You heard that he quit or whatever, but I didn't see him again until I think 2018 or 2019.
Oh wow,
Like
okay.
totally gone. And it's funny, like I point blank asked him, like it was well over 10 years. Now I think there was a couple of years he was coming to shows and shit. I just so maybe say let's say 2015 or so, maybe he started coming back around, but I just didn't see him. Just so happened not to be at the same ones. But at least 10 years he was gone where nobody knew where he was. Like everyone thought there was rumors there was rumors around here, people thought he was dead. Like
Wow.
what happened? And I've asked him, I might even be on interview that one of them I did. I asked him, and it's one of those. It's hilarious. It's typical Brian. You ever ask a person a question and then they give you an answer, like they're talking straight to you, like yeah, they're talking, give you the answer, and then you walk away, and someone asks you, so it's like, what was the answer? And you're like, I don't know. It was one of those.
Big.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was one of those. So I still don't know. I was like, he
Yeah,
told me. I was like, but I was like, I still don't know.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, Ohio's always had a really strong scene. I feel like Ohio, Illinois, even like Northern Virginia area here in the early '90s, we had a pretty good scene. Florida, obviously, there's been some pretty solid scenes. Like
Now is
kind of
that the area that deceased is from? Because they're from
yeah,
Virginia, but is it your area?
yeah. I mean, they were the first band I saw live was Deceased.
So when
I
did you first meet King then?
I think at that show it was '93. They played with Suffocation and Dismember and Corpse Grinder.
Because I
Yeah.
first met King in 2000 on the Supernatural Addiction tour. That's where I first met
Oh,
him.
okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
25 years ago, 26 years ago.
God, yeah. I mean, like I said, most of if I see him at a show, I'll say hi, but I don't know him super well. I'm like Mike, I've hung out with a few times, but King, I mean, just you know, arm's length conversation, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I mean, obviously through email, doing some artwork for them in the past, but um, I think the last thing actually I did some for them about a year or two ago. And no, actually, I take it back. I did a Deceased flyer last year for their show Coroner. Um, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's definitely like Deceased. I would say like for the scene I'm from, they were kind of like the staple band, like the
Yeah.
band that everybody kind of looked to. But we had others like Morbius and Abominog, Arghoslent, Grambowski. All those bands are like local to my area.
What's your take on Graham Belialski then, with people piss and whine about him? And like, when I say your take on him, like, well, back in the 90s when you knew them personally, like at least knew of the band personally and seeing them or whatever, did you even think anything of it? You're just like, oh, another band.
Yeah, I mean, Alex actually is the one who got me into the underground scene. He lived in the next town over. I bought their demo at a local record shop. Alex from Grand Blasky and Argosland. He's the one who introduced me to the underground scene. I remember I bought a fanzine off of him that he was distributing from Europe called Abysmal Desolation. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember. And it had like Impel Nazarene, Dissection, all these cool bands in it. And I remember him giving me the Grand Blues Key demo. It was like the first demo. It was really the only thing I liked by them, I would say. I have some of their other stuff too, but
Oh, you didn't like the debut album, the Mocking
I
Flapper
mean,
Threats?
it's okay. But their demo has such a unique character to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the riffs on it are so freaking awesome. Something about the production too, I just like more. So their demo is definitely like one of my all-time favorite black metal demos, I'd say. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've got some of their stuff, but
So but since you knew them personally, Arghoslent and Graham Belialski, what is your opinion when you hear these, in my opinion, newbies freaking out? Like, oh, these racists, these bad people. Like, are you looking at that kind of like just shaking your head? Like, what are you talking? Like,
I
they're
mean, to me,
normal
like,
guys. Like,
I,
maybe they have different views, but like they don't flag it, they don't bring it up. The reason I ask is just because like my viewpoint of this, like this whole racist shit that's going around, like because we dealt with Evil Incarnate and they get that moniker, right? But dude, we're the ones that put out the 7 inch. We put out the split 7 inch, and then the reason one of the reasons they got the bad raps is because the song it's on the 7 inch we put out. The song Evil Incarnate did. It's called Killer of Faggots. That's what it's
oh
called.
my
And
god,
but back then when we put it
oh,
out, we didn't even think it was funny. We didn't think it was controversial. We just
it
thought,
it
oh,
wasn't that probably
like
as
yeah,
far.
didn't think anything. Like I did, like it didn't even cross our minds. Like it's just normal death metal talk. Like to me, it was no different than Cannibal Corpse butchered up birds, singing about butchering up babies.
So I think that this is the thing. Right? My my experience with our Ghostland was very limited. It was I was young and I didn't. They weren't at that time like in that space, I guess so to speak. Um, However, like I'm the kind of listener. I like music for the music. I'm
Mhm.
not concerned about. I mean, there's like I'm not a Christian.
Yeah.
I disapprove of Christianity, but
Mhm.
I'll make a point to buy some Christian bands because they have awesome music. I'm just
Sure.
using it as an example because I'm not so concerned about the message or the lyrics or the content. I'm more concerned about what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Music.
Sure.
That's what the appeal is for me. It's always been about the music. And my feeling too is like, yeah, freedom of speech, sure, but you can't know what everybody of all the bands I listen to. How am I supposed to know what their personal lives are like, what their
Right.
personal beliefs are? I can't know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can make a choice and make a judgment call on whether or not I want to buy something after the fact. If I find out, I'm not going to deny I love Dissection, don't
Mhm.
approve of his actions as a person, but
Sure.
Storm of the Lights Bane is like one of the best melodic death metal albums ever made, in my opinion. So stuff like that. So that's the kind of listener I am. Not every listener is going to be the same way. Some are going to care about the content and what's being said and the message, but that's not a concern of mine. And granted, I know the space that we live in heavy metal. Yeah, it's about the stuff that people want to sweep under the rug. It's extreme, but you're going to have to be aware that that's what you're going to encounter somewhere along the lines in your journey, your heavy metal journey, is that you're going to find stuff that you're not going to agree with. But it's your choice whether or not you want to listen to it. It just depends on the kind of listener you are. Like I know you brought up Andrew before with Rip the Shreds, and I like Andrew. I've worked with Andrew. He's done guitar solos for me, and he's an excellent songwriter. And he's entitled to his opinion about
Mhm.
who he wants to share the stage with. Totally entitled to that. I just feel like you can't know everything about all the members of all the bands that you listen to, and so I mean, there's a ton of bands I probably listen to that I don't know what their viewpoints are, but I might not agree with them. But to me, like that's separate. We're not having a political discussion. I'm listening to the music. So it's just that's just the kind of fan I am. Some people might
Do
frown
you
on.
know what? Because again, I'm kind of oblivious because I'm in my own little bubble. Because again, like I said, when we put out Evil Incarnate, like
Mhm.
it didn't even cross our mind. And keep in mind, nobody back then even called us out for it. Nobody said shit. So my question is, and I think we put that 7 inch out in I don't know 2008, something around there. My question is, maybe you're a little more in the loop. When did these people start coming in the metal scene that you started noticing? What year was it? And do you have any idea why? Because again, when bands like Anal Cunt and Graham Belial's Keat, nobody brought that. Dude, even Vaginal Jesus and shit. Like Nobody cared. Like just like 25 years ago, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody I
Yeah,
knew. Like nobody ever said, "Oh, those are sketchy bands." Like that wasn't even like if I would have gone on a time machine and said the word sketchy band in the metal scene, people look at me like, "What the fuck is sketchy?" Like,
what does that mean?
yeah, what is? I don't even know that. What? Can you define that to me, please? Because you're speaking Japanese. Sketchy band. What does that mean? So
So
my question is, do you know? Because I don't. I don't know. When did this become a thing, roughly?
I would say probably around the pandemic. I'm assuming that. Now, I think that if you're into extreme music, you have to be ready to encounter extreme subject matters, and it's your choice whether or not you want to have that in your collection or listen to it or not. Um, it just depends on what kind of fan you are, and in terms of, I think a lot of it comes down to when you look at morality. Morality is something that's always changing and shifting, and what morality is essentially like a populist agreement that this is how we should behave. And so there's been a shift in recent years because of political climates that we've encountered in recent times, and subjects that are being brought to light. And I think that's important. I think humanity needs to have conversations about these things, but what you choose to accept is very personal, and it can be a problem for you or cannot. You can call it out or choose not to call it out. I think a lot of it's just very personal.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I've always been a proponent of free speech. I've always been a proponent of ethics don't exist in art and creativity. It's a process that's uninhibited by any ethical stance whatsoever. Anything goes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, it's what happens after that art's been created that might matter more, where there might be an ethical implication. And so I just kind of leave it at that. It's your personal choice, and people can get worked up about your personal choice, or they can choose not to. And I've never been one to be super interested in gossip because I find
Same,
it's a waste of energy.
thousand
So
percent.
so I like, if a fan likes that shit, fine. I don't care. It's like I'll listen to what I want to listen to, and that person will listen to what they want to listen to, and that's I'm okay with that. I can come to terms with that. And that's just my stance. And some people might not like that, might take offense to that, and that's
No, I
fine.
don't think. Honestly, I mean, you're well more. You're definitely more polite and well spoken than I am. So I don't think anybody's gonna. Even the people that maybe don't agree with you saying, I think you put it polite enough to where they can be like, oh, okay, fair enough.
It's not their business what I listen to. I mean, I can make it. I can talk about what I listen to. I'm happy to talk about what I like and what I don't like, but
Yeah,
I don't expect everybody else to like it. Just like with my art, I can't expect everybody to like every drawing I do.
sure.
I don't even like every drawing I do. So it's just, you know,
Well, yeah. I mean, artists in general, they're own biggest critics, and that's for damn sure. I mean,
yeah.
hell, like I bust their balls all the time because they're my friends. Fucking exhumed when they re-recorded Gore Metal. I'm like,
Oh
why would
yeah.
you re-record that? It's like the original sounds awesome. Oh, it sounds like shit, bro. I'm like, dude. I was like, and the reason why it kind of annoys me and why I bust their balls because they would be the first ones to say if Possess re-recorded Seven Churches, what's wrong with the original? Right.
Exactly.
They'd be the
Well,
first ones to say it.
there's a character and personality to some releases that just need it.
Correct.
I can't. And it kind of goes the same with artwork too. And I've been asked to, like, when something gets repressed, and I've been asked to, like, do an alternate new cover for it. And I'm okay to do that. And in fact, I'm honored to do that in some cases. But on the other side of the coin, I'm like, well, it'd be cool if it was more authentic and true to the original. So I'm kind of in the middle there when it comes to something being redone. Now an album, like, audio wise, I prefer not to be redone. Like Pestilence, I think, did that recently where they redid some of their tunes and just didn't have the same character to it.
Sure.
Something about that moment in time that makes it special for some of those
Yeah.
releases.
1000%. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where, yeah, I prefer like the original.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. And now if it has an alternate art, I'm cool with that, but it'd be cool to see the original too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I,
I mean,
I,
one of the. I mean, I think the way Exhumed did it, Malignancy did the same because they re-recorded Intruder and Cannibalism. Again, very unnecessary. But the way they released it, I think they did it properly. Is they sold it as a double disc,
oh,
and the original cover was on the flip side. The front cover had a new cover, and you got both discs as
that's
separate
cool.
discs. So
That's a
it's
cool
like
idea.
I think that's the best way to do it if you are going to do it.
Yeah, you please everybody.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. What label?
If you just so happen to not like one or the other, well, you just don't have to listen to the other one then.
Yeah, exactly. Who put that out? Was it Willow Tip or something?
For the malignancy, yes, I'm almost positive it was Willow Tip, and that I'm almost positive. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. Well, shit, I have it sitting right here. Why don't I just look? It's like right here. Uh,
Is your collection alphabetized?
Hell yeah, Holmes. How else would I forgot anything? This no, the double disc was put out by Seven Records. So you see how it's a
Barrett, yeah.
so check it's a little bit altered. That's the new cover,
Yeah, okay.
and then you flip it over. Here's the original.
That's cool. I like
Yeah,
that. I like that they
and
did that.
then yeah, then you got both discs. It flips it over. You got the original, and then
Yeah,
and
big
that's how
feet.
Exhumed did it too. When Ben Relapse put out the Exhumed Gore Metal, and then this is the original. Check this shit out, Mark. Original looky, signed by all the guys. They put the year, even by Desmond from the Tish. Some people don't even know who Desmond is, dude. Desmond, uh, signed by all the guys back when I think in 2000, not 99.
No, who put that version out? The original. That's cool.
United Guttural Records.
Oh, United. Okay.
Desmond wrote on here. Desmond, kill everyone. Roger wrote, stay brutal. Danny Nelson wrote Stay Malignant, and Big Flat Brim Ron wrote nothing other than his name. But all four guys, the whole lineup, signed this. But a lot of people don't know Desmond was also a mortician. He's on Zombie Apocalypse and Chainsaw Dismemberment for sure, and I had him sign those as well.
Oh,
But
cool.
a lot of people just think, well, the real kiddos when they think of mortician, they think of Will, Roger, and then the drummer Sam. I'm like, Sam who? I was like, he's just a fill-in guy for today. Nothing against him. It's just he wasn't a mortician member. But I
Yeah.
mean, at best, they just think Will or Rogers. Like Desmond was a big part at times on classic
Yeah.
shit. They don't even know. They just see these kids. They don't know. Like it's crazy. But what's crazy to me, and I'm not like it sounds like I'm beating up on them. It's like, well, they can't help their age. What I don't get is like, dude, I wasn't there when Mantis put out the Death by Metal demo. I was born in '85. Death by Metal pre-death was Mantis. They put out Death by Metal in '84. I wasn't even born. I researched this shit because I'm passionate and I like this shit. Like, how
Yeah.
do you claim that you're a fan, which is short for fanatic? How do you claim you're a fanatic and you don't know ABCs of this shit?
Yeah, it's crazy too. Now that you mentioned that, that's something I've noticed with my own collection and my own like music journey too. Is that I remember a kid in high school handing me a cassette tape with Venom, black metal on one side and Deicide's debut on the other, and I think I listened to the Venom side once and the Deicide on repeat because that was my first time hearing both of those bands.
Yeah,
So I missed out on Venom
yeah,
because I was so entranced by Deicide. So I've gone back, and I know you asked this a lot with folks too about Possessed and Seven Churches versus like Scream Bloody Gore,
uh-huh.
and I never heard Seven Churches because my experience with Possessed was buying their In the Eyes of
Yeah,
horror EP, and that's the one I had grown up as
yeah.
I was probably like 13 or something when I had that, and that's what I thought Possessed sounded like. So I never picked up anything else by them, and it's not like I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty cool,
So
but
to this day, you never heard Seven Churches?
no, I actually bought it a couple of years ago. I'm like, what the fuck? This sounds like Scream Bloody Gore.
But it's 2 years prior.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I always thought of Scream Bloody Gore as sort of the sort of like the genesis of death metal, but really now that hearing Possessed, I'm like, okay, I probably coined that album, Possessed album, as the progenitor of death metal. They got the song on there and everything, death metal, so it
Yeah.
makes
Now, don't
more
be wrong. Those albums too, Possessed, Venom. I was late to those too. Not as late as you just said, but later. Like I was listening to Deicide, Cannibal, Morbid Angel first, but I got those like I think I bought Seven Churches when I was like 18 or 19. But the big reason was it was out of print. Like these kids again, you couldn't just YouTube the shit. You had to buy a hard copy. The only way you would get it, you could go on eBay and you're like, oh, the embossed cover LP, it's $150. It's like, well, I mean, that's kind of steep. I'm 16. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So you kind of waited. I think when I first bought the first version I bought by Seven Churches was I think the Central Media version of the CD when it was repressed. And then, dude, I have multiple versions of the LP. I have the original LP, I have the picture disc, and then I have a few different color vinyls that High Roller Records repressed over the years. And then I have the this one's really nice too. I picked it up too because it was really really nice. Um, So I have two CD versions. This version that came out and it folds out
Oh,
like the fold out.
that's cool.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, I think it folds out to like an inverted
very
cross.
glossy the digipack. That's
Like
awesome.
you see how it folds out to an inverted cross.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that.
So I picked this version up because it was really cool. But this came out, I don't know, doesn't even say the year on here, maybe 5 years ago,
Who put that
six.
one out?
Century Media as well, and it says it just says copyright 99, but this didn't come out in 99, not this pressing. These idiots put in old Hell's Headbangers. They didn't put the year. But I don't know. We got. I'm saying 3-5 years ago is my guess.
Okay.
So I own two CDs. I own a picture disc. Picture disc is right back there, actually on the wall, signed by Becerra when I met him. Look
Oh
at
hell
that.
yeah, man. Dude, that's awesome.
And then I own the original LP, and I think I own three different color vinyls that High Roller did. So I got seven churches more than covered. But I mean, I was late to the game on it. I was 18 or 19. So um,
Yeah, there's a lot of bands I've had to backtrack. Even like King Diamond and Merciful Fate. I remember one of my buddies in high school. I'm already listening to like underground death metal at the time. So he let me borrow one of his King Diamond tapes, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What's with this guy singing? So I
yeah,
never got into it. And then it wasn't until Melanie and was on you know Melanie from
no,
Melanie's.
Melanie loves death metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on her channel too.
Yeah. I saw that you guys chatted at one point.
Yeah.
Like she was on a YouTube. I think it was Heavy Metallurgy YouTube channel with Marty and Alan and a couple other folks.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. They're like a lot of former music editors and stuff like that on that channel. It's a good
Okay.
channel. It's very has a ton of content. Um, but that they did a deep dive on King Diamond, and I was like, they're talking about Abigail, and I'm like, man, I've never went back to that band to check them out. And I had like I think a promo CD of one of the King Diamond albums from like early 2000s, and it was just like, yeah, that's not that great. I don't remember what it was called. Um, so I went back and I ended up picking up a bunch of their. I don't know if I ordered it through Hell's or somewhere else, but bought a bunch of old Merciful Fate. And
Mm.
I love the King Diamond stuff, man. I like the King Diamond more than Merciful Fate, but the King Diamond stuff, I just can't put it down. It's a frequent listen for me now. I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, what I missed again? That's a band I missed out on for
I
decades.
mean, I could see it if you were kind of like first introduced to death metal
Well,
and
is there?
then went to it. That's almost like a ear shock. But for myself, King Diamond and Merciful Fate, the reason I took to it so well is I heard it right around the same time as I first heard death metal. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure I heard Cannibal first, but it was the same year. You know what I mean? Because the
Oh,
hell, I
okay.
saw Merciful Fate I saw Merciful Fate in 1999 on the 9
Oh,
tube. So I was 14 then, and I heard them way before that. So I probably heard them when I was 12.
yeah,
Oh.
dude. I think I saw them in '98 actually.
That's the Dead Again tour, and I wish I would have saw that because Dead Again is my favorite '90s. Well, it's funny. '98's Voodoo came out, and that's probably my favorite '90s King Diamond album. And '98 Dead Again came out by Merciful Fate, and that's my favorite '90s Merciful Fate album.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. I think a lot of it has to do with sort of like your coming of age albums, what you listen to when that kind of hits the hardest for you when your mind's so impressionable
thousand
still.
percent. I say all the time, it's usually what you hear at first, and
Yeah,
not because just you heard it first, but like you said, your mind is young, impressionable, and of course, get like, dude, like that's why to this day, when I listen to Cannibal Corpse Vile, it's like, holy shit, how can any human being on this earth not like this? That's the first death metal record I ever heard.
oh wow, damn.
So of
Okay.
course it left an impression. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in the all in all, if we put all death metal albums out there, is it really that much greater than like let's just say greater than Effigy of the Forgotten? Some people are like, you're an idiot. It's not better than Suffocation and Effigy. And realistically, on paper, it's probably not. But I heard it first, and I heard it
Yeah.
probably 4 years before I heard Effigy. So to me, it's better.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It's crazy how that informs your preferences as you age too. There's stuff that I hear now that I'm like, I like it just because of the way the guy sings or
Dude,
whatever.
people don't realize that, and that's 100% true because there's certain foods and smells that you like because you grew up as a kid. For
Yeah.
example, why does almost every single person at least somewhat like McDonald's? See, I recognize why I like McDonald's. I know I do because when I smell it, it's because our mom used to take us there at their like shopping and stuff, like when we were like young kids,
Yeah.
and so it has like that almost
Some,
like a good memory in my mind. It's not that like all this. Obviously, it's dog shit food and the quality's crap, but it's almost like you're not even liking it for the food. It's almost like it brings back that nostalgic memories.
Yeah,
Like, I know
it's
for me, I know for a fact that's what it is for me.
I think all metal fans are have that nuance about them. That's why I'm a little concerned for the newer generations who are just all they know is like Whitechapel and like you said stabbing or Lorna Shore, whoever all these
Mm-hmm.
newer bands. I'm like, man, these are the bands that are informing them for what they're gonna like in the future. So I kind of like hope some of them are doing a little bit of digging.
Did you see that? Did you see that episode? I purposely put in the title. I figured it would eventually make it around to him, just not as fast as it did. Did you see that one? I forget the exact title, but it was something along these lines. Go up and ask John McEntee if he likes Slaughter to Prevail.
No,
And so I put it up, and like 3 months later, I was at an Incan show, and he comes up to me, yeah, man, bro, that's my favorite band. And I was like, oh, I was like, did anybody else come up and ask you? He's like, fuck yeah, they did. I was like, what did you say to him? So that's what I told him. I was like, they're my favorite band. I was like, so you know what that is? He's like, fuck no. He's like, I never even heard of that shit. I was like, so I know what it is now. He's like, yeah, I looked it up. It's fucking terrible.
I
But I
got
was like,
I
exactly. I was like, and I never asked McEntee that. I was like, but dude, a real metalist like John McEntee, that he doesn't know what that dog shit is. And the reason I'm bringing it up though is because the kids of today, dude, if you bump into a jet, like a 16-year-old, I'm talking about the ones they don't even know who Deicide is, but out and about, and if you mention death metal, they'll be like, oh yeah, I like Slaughter to Prevail. That's what they equate to death metal. I'm like, dude, it's like you insulted my religion, homeboy.
it's funny. I got asked to do some stuff for them, and I turned it down. It's like no
Oh,
thanks.
did you really get asked to do like that's actually kind of impressive though, because dude, they're humongo.
Yeah, there's dude. It's just some stuff that I'm like, eh. I mean, I've done some stuff for metalcore bands in the past, and a lot of it for me is just like, okay, I see this is a direction where some popular metal is going. I should probably at least do a few things in that realm. And honestly, like some of the bands like Whitechapel, Carnifex, like those guys are super awesome to work with.
Mm-hmm.
People, I don't listen. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard any of their stuff before. But
I don't think I have either. The only stuff I know I heard was Slaughter to Prevail, one song, because Woody sent it to me, my friend Brian Woody. He's like, dude, you have to rip on this band. I'm like, never heard of them. And he sent it over. I'm like, oh my God, this is even worse than I thought it was going to be. And then
yeah,
I heard Suicide Silence because
Mhm.
I went to his show to check it out because I got when I interviewed him Garza when he came on the Hell's Headbangers. He invited me to the show. I'm like, you're putting me on the guest list for that, homeboy. I was like, there's no way in fuck I'm paying for that junk. He's like, oh yeah, of course. I was like, so I do want to check that venue out because I've never been to that venue. I watched 2 songs, dude. I thought I was gonna toss my cookies. Most
yeah.
unlistenable goddamn canoe garbage I ever heard of. I was like, dude, this shit is fucking gayer than Pantera. Holy fuck.
That's funny. I did something for them like back in '07 or something like that for Suicide Silence.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just not my realm for
Dude, the
metal.
crowd too. I'm telling you right now, the crowd. First off, there was well over 1,000. There was more
Yeah.
people there than a Cannibal Corpse show, and I know I've
Mhm.
seen Cannibal Corpse many times. I'm like, holy fuck, this band's more popular than Cannibal. How the fuck did that happen? And dude, the crowd. I'm telling you right now, there was not one motherfucker other than yours truly that heard of Repulsion. Not one motherfucker in there. Dude, they were
Oh yeah.
doing crab walks and shit. You know
Oh
what the crab walk is?
yes, yes I do.
Dude, I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I was like, this is literally, this is everything I stand against, and I feel embarrassed even just being around this crowd.
Yeah, I
There was
would.
not one grown man in there, dude. There was just nothing but peach fuzz fucking goddamn walking around, 16, 17-year-old. There wasn't a 40-year-old man in there other than me.
I would feel uncomfortable too
It was
personally.
uncomfortable as fuck, dude. I felt like I was at a goddamn pedo house. Dude, it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, it's just again, it's like one of those things where um from my vantage point as an artist trying to think, well, how do I stay relevant? I have to put my tentacles out in different
1,000%.
areas. So it's like, and luckily for me, like it turns out, like a lot of those people, they're cool to work with. They're super, like the dude
Yeah.
Scott from Carnifex
No,
is
I'm
like,
sure it's people just like Garza. I have him on my channel.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have a conversation with him. I'm like, but I'm not sitting through a show. I was like,
It's just,
that's a $500 bill, bro. I'm like, you got to pay me to go to that.
yeah, it's just a different generation of metal, man. Like there's just two, to me, a lot of it sounds like it's trying to be Dying Fetus and super chuggy, and I'm like, that's been done before, like back in 1991 or whenever their
Sure.
demo came out. So yeah, it just it's just it's not my taste, but it's sort of a weird necessity on occasion in terms of like a client. But but a lot of that stuff I tend to like. Even though that Lorna Shore band, I turned them down too when they asked for stuff. I just there's some bands I'm just like, I
But do you think
already
like something like that, like for yourself, since a big band like that, do you think you could just like throw a price tag out there that you that's way higher than you normally do? It's just like, yeah, fuck it, it's business is business.
no, I try to be fair. Like I charge the same amount for everybody. I don't. I try to stay accessible, but I also want to be fair. Like
Yeah.
that's just me. I mean, it's just some. I guess the most lucrative scenarios are when I have something set up where I get a percentage of the sale or something like that. Which
Mhm.
that's definitely the best benefit. But a lot of the stuff I work on is just like a flat rate.
Yeah.
And so
That's how most artists. Yeah, same. Everyone we deal with, that's what it is. They whatever, a few $100 or whatever it is.
yeah. Actually, I want to ask you since I want to ask you if this looks familiar to you. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, that's that for. Yes, it does.
That's your wife had this shirt on a couple of years ago when you one of your streams. She
Oh,
was
okay.
wearing yeah. It's a I don't know if you know
Was that is that a shirt that we had or whatever? That because or
yeah, your wife was wearing it on like
no, I'm
one of
trying to think where she would have got it then.
oh, it's from Dulles Kill. It's a clothing company.
Yeah,
That
you know what?
I
Yeah, I probably bought the damn thing for her then. You know what I'm saying?
just thought it was funny. It's like, oh,
Because a
she
lot of times, like, yeah, for gifts or birthdays, she
yeah,
just sends me, "Hey, this is what I want." And I just buy the damn
I'll
thing. The
send you a
dolls
link.
that I definitely have ordered from there for her. Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's just I've done a lot of stuff for them. I wonder if she has anything else in her
but that's
wardrobe.
funny. So she knows that I'm shooting this because she's downstairs. She knows that I'm shooting this video with you, but I guarantee she doesn't know that. She
Yeah,
has,
no doubt. I
well,
said it
she
was
knows who you
fun.
are though, because like for example, the your art books and stuff.
Oh yeah,
We've
yeah.
had them in stock and she's pulled them because she pulls a lot of
Oh,
orders. So if you
okay.
say Mark Riddick, like she 100% knows who you are. I mean,
Oh, that's cool.
she doesn't know your face and shit, but she if you mention Mark Riddick, who is she? He's an artist. She'll be, yeah, we have his book. Like she would know.
Is she in the metal? Is she sort of involved a little bit in that in the genre
Yeah,
or?
I mean, she's like the yes and no. I mean, it depends on what you want to define as metal too. Like, yeah, she enjoys stuff, but I mean, is she going to be like, hey, throw on that goddamn Horrified album? No, but
Okay.
if I'm in the car, I that's all I play, my choice, and she tolerates it. Now,
Oh,
does like every single band? Probably not. But
okay. I wasn't sure like if you have like an agreeable like window
oh,
of
I'm the
like
driver. I'm always the driver, and the driver picks the tunes. That's just
okay.
the way it goes. I've never put anything on that she said shut this off. Now, don't be wrong. If it was Last Days of Humanity or something, I doubt she's loving it.
Yeah.
But at this point too, I think she's probably just used to because yeah, remember she works at the warehouse, so I'm
Yeah.
just playing music all day there too. I think at this point she's just numb to it. Some of it she likes, some of it she's just like just tuning out, like it's just in the background, doesn't
Yeah.
care. Like just it's just normal, you know.
Yeah. That reminds me, there was one band I was going to recommend because I know you're very particular in terms of like your preferences and some of the stuff I hear you talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, I agree 100%. Some stuff I'm like, you like that? That was boring. So,
Sure,
I know our tastes aren't exactly the same, but
nobody's are, nor should they be.
there was a band called that I picked up from your distribution. I already had it on cassette, but I wanted it on CD so I could play it in my car. So I picked it up from you from Hell's, and I want to say it's called Horror Pillant or something like that. It's an EP. It's a Spanish band. I apologize because I can't remember who put it out, but I think it's in your. You probably still have it in stock.
It's
I
something that it's something that I said that I like.
no, I think you should check it out if you like
Oh, okay, okay.
if you like sadistic intent, sort of like that
What
realm.
the band is called Horror Pillet.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember the exact name.
Let me search the site administrator, homeboy.
See if he still happens. I was just going to recommend checking it out.
Yeah, again, this site administrator, it has every fucking piece of info. That's why, dude, I love this line. Get it all the time. I've been ordering from Hell's Headbangers for years. Really? What's your name? My name's Billy Bob Joe. Okay, let me search Billy Bob Joe. One order in 2014. Or the kicker is no results found.
Oh no, shame. Yeah, so these guys they played in another band called Domains, which actually kind of like a
Is
little
that
bit
from
more.
Mexico? Domains is from Mexico, right?
No, this one's from Spain also.
Now, what
Um,
was it called again? Pillar? What?
I
Horror
think it's
Pillar?
Horror Pillant or something like that, or Horror Plot. Let me look it up because I can't remember.
It's not
How to
horror
spell
pic. It's not horror picnic, is it?
No. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna check the Scogs. It's HORRI.
Dude, I know horror picnic don't look too bad though. I'm looking at the cover; it looks pretty goddamn cool. It says speed metal J Jiv enhanced. It's I don't know. It's it says cult old speed thrash from Eastern Europe for fans of Creator, Destruction, Slayer, Exhumed. In stock at Hell's Headbangers. Goddamn it!
Yes.
Horror pink. No horror picnic, but spelled with K's. Pig,
Uh,
2 K's. Horror picnic. I never even heard of them. We got them in stock. We got 2 copies in stock. Look, the cover looks cool.
yeah, this one's HORRIPILANT. I was just gonna recommend them. Like if you're just sitting in the warehouse doing something, maybe good background, worth checking out. If I think it might fulfill your preference. But they're kind of like one of those bands I really dig that is definitely under the radar.
Embrace the obsession. You said.
Let me check the name of the this. Yes, it is that. Yep.
Oh, it's a pretty damn goddamn cool cover. I don't even recognize it.
Yeah, the cover's awesome.
Shit, it's in stock. It says we
Yeah,
got 1 copy left. I'll put it on. Yeah, it's from Spain. It says death metal transformed into an obsessive paranoia inside the walls of life. Death will and Saint will. That's not really a description. What the fuck? Goddamn Dave, what the fuck kind of description is that?
it's pretty good stuff, man. You might dig
Covers
it.
that pretty damn cool, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just gonna throw that suggestion out there. I was listening to it recently. I wonder if
It's funny
Justin.
because that cover is so cool, at least in my opinion, that I just must not have seen it and pull it because I almost would listen to it just because, but goddamn, that cover with it just stands out. The priest, it's Vulcan all dead, the crucifix shoved in his mouth, and
All these hands stabbing him and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, it's some pretty good evil death metal, kind of like early Morbid Angel worship, kind of like Sadistic Intent. Sadistic Intent kind of has that early Morbid Angel worship,
I
sort of
sure do.
in that realm. And there are other band domains, which I think is probably on hold. That band's pretty good too. I don't know if you carry domains or not, but
We
um,
definitely have. Let me
yeah, they had like one full length out years ago, but it's really good. Good, like if you want evil death metal, it might be right up your alley. I'm
I
assuming.
thought there was a band called Domain. Um, Domain and Demonized did a split from Mexico back in the day.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
Domain,
this one.
let's see if it's
Yeah,
so different. Domains from Spain, death metal. Sinister Ceremonies from 2024. I mean
yeah,
2014 is their album.
yeah. That's a good album.
Oh
And
yeah, we definitely yeah. I don't think we have this in stock
yeah,
still.
it's old, man. It's an old release.
Well, I 100% recognize that. No, but I did not listen to it. But so then they're in Horror Plant says and yeah, it looks like this the Horror Pillet. They just did a demo called Falsified Spirits in 2019, and then
Yeah,
it's EP in 2020, and it says Split Up.
yeah. It's crazy, man. There's so many really good bands out there that just even newer stuff where it's like, man, there's so many bands that just go under the radar that need a little bit more exposure. I feel like for whatever reason they just don't get
I
it.
mean, something like this, I could see kind of how it went under the radar. They were literally around for 2 years and they broke up. So it's
Yeah,
not like they have time to split. Well, that's what it is. Their words, not mine. At least Metal Archives. Kind of makes sense, how that happened.
is there anything that you would recommend? I did pick up a couple things on Hell's Headbangers recently.
As far as new stuff that you would
I'm kind of all over the place with my taste, but do you guys carry I Void Hanger stuff? You probably do, right? I Void Hanger.
oh yeah. Aren't they on Dark Descent? Or
No,
maybe
no, I
on
mean
Iron Bonehead?
the label. It's the label from Italy. I Void Hanger.
Oh, then I'm not
It's
sure that I've never dealt with them. Maybe Chase, that would be a Chase would know right off the top of his head.
okay. Yeah,
Um
Sen just put some of that. I
Trying
Dark
to think
Descent.
like as far as the newer stuff that I picked up that's newer. I mean, like I have stuff, but it's like older.
Like I said, sometimes the stuff like the Ineternum stuff, I was willing to give that away because I'm like I never listened to it. But it sounds like you got a hold of that CD finally, right? The Ineternum.
This right here, Forever Blasphemy.
Oh, there you go. You got it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, my biggest fan, now my biggest hater sent it to me.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, I don't know. He's my biggest fan, but he pissing and whining about shit I say. It's like, dude, you've been watching me for 5 years. You just kind of know my personality. So I don't. Maybe he hates me. Maybe it doesn't matter to me either way. If he loves me, he loves me. If he hates me, he hates me. I don't care either way. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of those deals.
I mean, I could
But
hear.
nonetheless, I mean, he liked me. He said he just sent it out. He just sent it to me, which is hell yeah, thanks. Because I just had the LP of it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that I thought that was a great album personally. But apparently, you thought it was a snooze fest.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. I went back and listened to it again. I was like, yeah, I'm still falling asleep. I can
You know,
hear
it's
like,
funny because a lot of people checked it out because like the people they're like, "This is great."
oh, nice. Okay. It just didn't hit with me. It's just, I can hear a little bit of the dissection parallel, but it's just the riff writing wasn't. But then there's stuff like Church Bazaar that we clearly both agree on. It's just like, it's
Yeah,
just one of those things where,
it's funny how yeah, like I said, you had that church bazaar because again, yeah, would that year say 2007, 2008?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, they like they're saying the evoked or not, dude. Those covers, if you remember, well, maybe you don't own that one because you showed the demo, but the evoked or not evoked, it's this really thick fucking cover, right?
Yeah.
And the reason it is because it was this blank cardboard stock that we got in from the
Uh,
pressing plant that we worked at, and the artwork had to be glued with this spray glue on my hand and put it, and it took about I'd get about 12 to 15 an hour. And dude, there was fumes in the air when I finished the whole pressing. There
yeah.
was literally fucking, and this is at the house that me, Eric, and Chase bought, right? So we did it in
Oh,
our living room. Granted, a living room, dude. If you would have laughed their ass off. Jim, and Don always laugh their ass off. They come over. There was the living room. There was no couch, nothing. There was just boxes, right? Shit everywhere. There was no TV, nothing. There's just boxes all, like filled, and the garage. There's no cars parked in, just boxes. The whole finished basement was all this the spread out fucking the pull the distro stuff to pull like alphabetized, right? But the boxes of overstock was in the garage and and the uh the living room. But set up in the middle of the living room, they had this set up this table to glue these things by hand. And of course, my fucking dumbass got stuck with the job, and it was such dude. You almost had to wear a mask. Granted, I did.
yeah.
It's because you're breathing this shit in, and by the end of the job, dude, the living room walls you could
Oh,
stick your
stop.
hand to it because that's how the fumes were in there. I'm breathing this shit in. It probably took 10 years off my goddamn life. Took it for the I took it for the team, fucking doing those damn things, gluing them by hand. Um, and what I would do, I would get home I worked second shift. I would get home at 2:30 a.m. So the first 45 minutes to an hour, I would glue those. And then the next hour, I would pull the orders that sold because Eric would get home around 8:30 a.m. from third shift, and then he would pack them.
Oh my God. Huh. Dude,
Yeah.
that's a headache. So you're essentially like, as they're being ordered, you're fulfilling. You're just making them as they're
Correct. Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, at least in the beginning. Yeah, because obviously they slowed down because it was a new
Yeah.
band no one cared about. But when it first came out, you're selling maybe 5, 10 a week or so. So yeah, it licked balls, dude. It was the most miserable thing I ever had to do. And you gotta remember, dude, those back days when the three of us lived at the house, and especially when I was working Dupley Systems and then Hells, dude, from the minute I woke up, with the exception of taking a shower, to the minute I went to bed, all 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I worked. Every
Wow.
minute. There was not like I didn't have a girlfriend, didn't do nothing.
Oh
And
my
some people
God.
are like, "Yeah, where you are now, you're lucky." I'm like, "Fuck off and suck a dick, dude. I should knock all your teeth down your fucking throat." I was like, I missed out on like 10 years of my life. I was like, I mean, I'm where I'm at because I put the hard, heavy lifting in my early years. I was like, you want to do that when you're young, and don't get me wrong, dude. I'm damn glad I did it because, dude, I see so many people my age, in-laws and shit like that. Dude, they're living check to check. I know what I'm not even gonna say names, but I know them. Dude, he couldn't afford tires on his car. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, you're 40 years old, bro. I was like, if my car exploded, blew up to smithereens tomorrow, I was like, and insurance said, go fuck off. We're not covering it. I could literally go buy a brand new car, just write a fucking check, pay it off in full, and I wouldn't even blink.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's the status I'm in now. And they're telling me I got it bad. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't trade places with you, buddy. Your life fucking sucks. But don't get me wrong, to get to the point, yeah, there was several years, dude. And when I say from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, all I did with work, with the exception of taking a shower, because even eating, I was doing messages or something while doing that. I never sat there and ate and did it. I mean, I ate while worked.
Oh my God. Dude, there's something to be said though when you have to stay the course, and be
1,000%.
determined. And that's, I mean, God, I'm trying to think. Even the illustration stuff, I think I've been doing now for 35 years, which is insane to me to even say that number. And it's because I didn't stop. I try to keep
Dude,
at it.
consistency will always win. Even if
Yeah,
you somewhat half-ass it, but if you consistently do something for 20 years and you just don't stop, it will definitely go somewhere. It's not going to be just do nothing.
yeah, exactly. And I think you have to have that vision, that willpower, but none of it's powered without passion. You have to have
Yeah,
passion first, right? For whatever, like you were talking about with, yeah, you're around metal all the time, and that's awesome. But yeah, it's still work, right? So there's
1,000%.
still, there's still an obligation to be fulfilled, and you just keep the course. But
But I guess part of that too, I guess where that passion with the channel comes, and when I go nuclear on some of the people, when they come in and ask me stupid shit, or they compare, like, what do you mean, dude, you gatekeeper? Like, a guy that is X is the same level as you. No, they're not. Dude, I got fucking Church Bazaar glue still in my lungs, motherfucker. I was like, you ain't got shit. You heard this crap on YouTube 3 years ago. Fuck off. I was like, you're not on the same level. So
that's
when you're calling yourself a Deicide fan like me, and we're the same, we're not. I'm sorry, that's an insult. You just whipped your dick out and jacked off in my face. That's how insulting that was to me. We're not this fucking same.
yeah.
Now, there's others that are. There's people that are. And those are the people I respect. And there's some that are even beyond me, above me. People that, like yourself, that have been in this longer. Because, dude, I see it. I see you place orders. I think that's respectable for guys that you're going on 50 years old and you're still buying current shit. Because trust me, and I've talked about my channel, there's not many that do. They fell off by age 30 if they're lucky.
Yeah, I think there's always well, first of all, I think the title of your video was just mentioned a couple lines ago because I know you're probably
Oh yeah,
gonna.
please give me if you got it. I was gonna throw something about Graham Belial's key or something to get there. But yeah, if you got something you think is getting clicks,
No,
that's
it's
what I do,
funny.
dude. Anything I say, even if it's one line, I was like, hey, if I said it, it's going to the title. If I think it's getting clicks,
The,
what is
the,
it? What's the good
no,
one?
I just thought it was funny you said the church bazaar glue is still on your lungs. I'm like, I mean,
Oh.
how many people are gonna know? Like,
Yeah,
how many
dude,
people,
these idiots don't even know who Church Bazaar
yeah,
is.
that's not gonna
They don't
help
even
you,
know.
but it's a funny line
Now, if I
nonetheless.
say Arghoslent glues on my lugs, maybe I'll put that in there. I did say Arghoslent. I didn't say glue. Arghoslent and Graham Belial's key still on my lungs. These fucking racist klansmen took 10 years off my life. Hell, maybe that is the title. That'll get clicks out the wazoo.
Probably would. Yeah, no, it's just yeah, I can't remember what my point was gonna be because I got so sidetracked. But yeah, man, there's something to be said about that determination and just staying the course, keeping at it. You find some ounce of success somehow along the way. Um, but yeah, man, like there's always good new music coming out. That's why I'm still placing orders and I try to, like I said, try to spread it out, order from different labels when I can. And a couple that I are pretty put out pretty consistently good stuff. So there's always something to find. I'm always looking for. It's still a hunt. You know what I mean? I think that's part of the beauty of the music genres are always trying to find that hidden gem somewhere, and I still feel like there's plenty of good music coming out to discover. So I try to keep my ear to the ground when it comes to whether it's old or new stuff, and like even like I said, discovering older stuff that I missed out on is always a real
Well, how
treat.
does that work with? Because, like, for example, I know you have a brother. Does is he like who's older, who's younger?
He's 3 minutes older. We're
Oh, you're
twins.
twin brothers. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're identical twins.
Okay, now, does he still listen to this stuff? Does he like it, and to what level?
To be honest, real dude, I haven't really seen my brother too much in the past. It's probably since like 2018. He's become very reclusive.
Okay.
I want to say, no joke, I've probably spent 45 minutes to an hour with him since 2018.
Well, it makes
And
you feel any better. I probably spent fucking 48 minutes with Dawgs since 2018, so I'm right there with you.
oh my god, so it's kind of weird, like being super tight. And I don't mean to get like into personal stuff too much, but being super tight with my twin brother in our youth, doing a lot of like music together and collecting and being really into it. Um, I kept at it, whereas I suspect that he fell off. I don't think he's. I don't
Okay.
know. Honestly, I don't know if he listens to metal. I have no idea.
Right,
I
right, right.
know he's had an interest in it in the past, and
It's funny. It's kind of similar with our younger brother Craig. Like, I don't know if he listens to metal still. He's made comments his words, not mine. To where he sold his shit off, and he's like, yeah, I've listened to a lot of Nazareth, and that's what he said at the last party. I was like, oh, so I took that as he doesn't, but maybe he still does. Maybe he still listens to Creator and shit that he liked as a kid. So it's kind
Yeah.
of funny, like similar, like because people have asked me, I'm like, just hit him up on his channel, ask him, like, why are you asking me? I don't know. I was like, I was like, here's some things he has said out loud. I was like, I didn't care enough to ask. He said it, and I just, oh, okay. I just assumed that he's out. That's what I just took it as that.
He's not doing crucified mortals anymore, or is he still
I
involved?
again, I haven't asked, but I mean,
Okay.
what's the last thing that came out? I mean, the
I
last thing
don't
that
know.
came out. Well, I can tell you. Well, I know what it is.
It's a
It's a
couple of
rhetorical
years ago.
question. The last thing that came out was we put it out, and I'll tell you the year is it was the Crucified Mortal Psalms of the Dead Choirs. The last thing that came out by Hell's Headbangers, 2016. That's 10 years ago.
Oh,
So
jeez.
is the
Oh,
band still around? I don't know. 10 years and nothing else. So
man.
whatever that means.
Yeah, I didn't know it's been that long since that album came out. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked this project, especially that
I mean, you
was
did the artwork for the Exorcism split.
yeah, I did some other stuff for him too in the past.
The
But I really
Exorcism split's really good too. That's another
yeah,
band that Daniel from Nocturnal was in. Exorcism,
yeah.
their demo's fantastic, and their split sandwich with Crucified Mortals is really good. Again, dude, there's probably two people watching this that even know who that is.
Oh yeah, I know. That's
Two
funny.
people. Two
I
people.
like
Clue. No fucking clue.
oh yeah, I mean Dan, he's been
But we put it out, dude. We put out the Crucified Mortals Exorcism
yeah,
7 inch, and we
yeah.
put out, dude. I love the demo so much that we had them on a cassette, and I thought the demo was so good that Hell's pressed the demo on a 7 inch. Again, it's long gone. We
Yeah.
haven't, but I don't know. What did we do that in 20? I don't know, 2010, 2012. I don't fucking remember. Years ago.
So with that Church Bazaar one that you guys were hand gluing and hand assembling, how many copies did you run? Was it like a 300 press or something?
500.
500. Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a
That licked balls.
I bet it did. I
And
mean,
the
just
at least I had help. We all
yeah.
sat down with the Nunslaughter Burn the Cross 7 inch, one of the greatest 7 inches in existence. Not just by packaging, but songs. The song "Burn the Cross," one of my favorites. There's two versions. Side A, Dawn of the Dead sings his version. Side B, Jim Sadis sings his version. Totally
What
different lyrics, totally different vocal styles. So there's two
what
songs for "Burn the Cross," but it's got a die cut cover where it's punched out as "Burning Cross," and then behind is the insert. I mean, the printed under sleeve, but there's flames, so you see a burning cross. And there's 1,000 of those made. Don came over on us a couple Saturdays. We ordered pizza and shit, and me, Easy, and Sea Dog, we sat at the kitchen table. This is when we just moved out of our parents' house, so it was 2005, I believe.
oh,
And
okay.
we sat there and just punching them out. Actually, I think they spilled in. I think it was 2005 while we were still living with our parents, because I remember like it could be something else, maybe something else that we did with Don. But I remember Don coming over, but it had been for that. He helped scrap records, and it was one of the best days living at home because my parents were gone. I'm like, God damn, this is so fucking nice when they're gone. Because they're just always yelling and shit, and I couldn't stand it. And it was just the three of us in the house, and Don came by. We ordered pizza and shit. I'm like, oh, this was nice and peaceful, fucking finally. But then we moved out that same year, but sitting there just scrapping them out and assembling them, and there was 1,000 of those. So that was three men on deck, several hours.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of time. I don't even know if I have that one. I have the one where you guys actually stamped out the vinyl, like the text in the vinyl. It's a Chris
The
Massacre.
Christ Massacre. So there's several of those. Like I
You
could
got
show one version. Like
there's a couple color variants on that, right? But
there's like 20 variants, dude. There's a cupcake shaped one.
really,
Yeah.
um, I think I have two versions, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't keep one of every version too because it was kind of fucking ridiculous. I was like, I don't need 20 of every goddamn record.
So
Well, I guess I have more than necessary. I have a few of them.
how did you do
Um,
that?
those we had pressed like that, but we had to scrap them out. So here's the red and the green. Again, fantastic songs. This artwork here,
Yeah.
Eric actually drew all this.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yes, so he did some artwork. He drew the back piece too. So this we did is it's a 7 inch, but it's in a 12 inch because the die cut.
That's funny.
But all this shit he drew. So yeah, there's Bethlehem, Unholy Scriptures. These are fantastic songs. Jerusalem. It's funny they get no beat though. It's like it's fucking idiots. They like to throw bands on the bus. It's like it was all just. But Don and then none. They have a racist bone. It's fucking this inside joke. I call Don of the Dead Don of the Woke. He's fucking
Done.
like they're not racist or anything, but they have some of those stuff, just like blood for blood. You say kill, look, I say kill the Jew. He's like, he's funny. He's like, we don't even play that song. Funny song off Hell's Unholy Fire. The line where he says, "Yeah, you say love God, I say kill the Jew." He's like, we be overseas and shit, and people are giving us this high Hitler shit.
Oh my
Don's
god.
so against and hates that crap. He's like, we never play that song live ever again. He's like, I want nothing to do with these people. But he's like,
Yeah.
that's not what I meant. He's like, kill the Jews. Like, I'm talking about Jesus, kill Christ.
Yeah. Oh my
These
goodness.
idiots all take it out of context. But
Drawn
here's the
from.
insert. But here's the shape. There's a red version and there's a green version, which I have here, which it's die cut in here. There it
Yeah,
says Christ Killer.
I think I have the green one. That's pretty cool. So it's essentially a 7-inch record with the
Correct.
exit.
See, here's the vinyl here. That I mean,
Yeah,
the actual music. It's just in a
absolutely.
7-inch, but to do the shape, it's obviously on a 12-inch. So that's a red version. This is our same thing, green version.
Oh yeah, I think that's. I
And
think.
then another couple of variants. I think these are the ones that are signed by Jim and Don. They took a razor blade and they signed their name into them. I think I kept
Oh,
one by each. Yeah. This is oh no, so he just put maybe he didn't sign it. He just took they took a razor blade and they scratched in Lord Satan.
that's
So
awesome.
that's that one, but I don't remember. Well, let me see what I don't know. Dude, it's been years since I even opened these goddamn things. I mean, because we put this out 2004, Holmes.
Wow. Yeah.
2004, dude. How many people you think are watching this episode right now? They weren't even born.
It's
And
true.
trust me, they exist.
Yeah.
They exist. Okay, so this is a shape one. This is a
Oh,
sawboat shape.
that's
Sawboat.
awesome. I didn't know you guys did that many variants. I thought it was just the one with different colors or something.
It wasn't on purpose. Again, I think again those guys got to start their own channel. From my memory, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's 22 years ago, so memory's a bit hazy. From
Yeah.
my memory, the plan was it's supposed to be 500 green, 500 red, and they're all supposed to say the Christ Killer that I showed you.
Yeah.
But the plant said they were so hard to press, and they're fucking them up, and they're getting pissed
Okay.
that they only got like 200 of them done. They're like, we can't do 1,000 total of these, 500 of each. So they said we have these other shapes we can do, and Don's like, that's cool. There was one's birthday cake, one's saw blade. There was a star one,
Tell them
and
a
Don's
couple.
like, do more, fuck it. So there's like, I'm not even exaggerating. There's like 12 variants.
That's cool. I didn't
But
know
that
that.
that was for that reason because the plant was pissed. Like, dude, we can't finish this. This is stupid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, because they said they were crap. A lot of them were like when they're cutting it, stamping it in there, the
Yeah.
whole thing was breaking.
Oh, like okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that
So
being the case.
basically, they're losing money on the job to send us 1,000 because they had to make more.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, we're not even making money on this job. We're losing money.
Yeah. You're paying for all the
So
excess.
that's from my memory. I could be wrong on that. But that's how my memory went down. That's why there's all the variants. So it
Nice.
wasn't, we didn't set it up like that. Like, hey, this will be cool. No.
Um, I should probably get going, Justin. I hate to cut it here.
Oh, you're
But
good, dude. I mean, I got plenty to do too. Plus, my phone's
yeah,
probably going to die.
I got to get the. This is running longer than I thought it would. Wow. I mean, hopefully, I don't know what you do. I guess you break into parts or something like that. But
No, I'm just posting as is. Like I said, we're half-assed as all hell here.
okay.
We'll come up with as juicy as possible a title, and then people will watch it, and they might be like, "What the hell, dude? You mentioned Arghoslent once." Whatever the hell I put in there.
Okay. Dude, I appreciate you having me on here. Is there like a backstage thing? Do we talk backstage after? Or is it like once you sign off, you sign
Shit, I
off?
don't know how to do all that fancy crap, man. Once I sign off, you're done. So whatever you gotta
Okay.
say, you say it.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. No,
But
I just
I'll email you back. You can email me all your stuff you want in the description box, man. If you want your email, whatever you want, I don't care. I'll put whatever I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Your website, whatever you said you wanted,
okay.
whatever
All
you
right.
want in the description box, I'll put it in there for you.
Yeah, I'll just email you then after this and
Yeah.
get in there.
I mean, this is going up in 10, 12 days or so, so you got time too.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I have that many already uploaded, like that much of a back. I got a juicy
Oh,
backlog, so it's just going up next. But
okay.
I think I got 10 recorded, some shit like that.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
cool. No, I appreciate you having me on here, man. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and thank you for the insight on the
Yep.
label.
Hell
That's
yeah.
hopefully none of it's too redundant. I don't know what all.
No, nobody asked, dude. Honestly, dude, every person I've ever talked to so far, you know more about the label than any other person, with the exception like Don or something.
Yeah. Well,
I've never had anyone else that even knew all this stuff. Like, I don't even bother bringing it up because I feel like I'm just talking to like a brick wall. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Christ Massacre record. What's that? I'm just like, just never mind. Just,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the label. Been a
Oh,
fan for a
awesome.
long time. I'm always happy to help out however I can, art wise. Whatever you guys need, anytime, just hit me up, and we'll be in touch through email anyway.
Yeah,
So
of course, dude. And you got my number now too.
yeah, yeah. Likewise. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so you can just text me or whatever.
yeah. Cool. All right, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on here.
I say, good talking to you, Mark. Good
Oh,
meeting you.
yeah. And tell your brothers I said hey.
Will do.
All right, take care, man.
Take care. Later, bro.
See you.